And welcome to Ellen Road, our coverage of a huge game near the foot of the Premier League table. Leeds United against West Ham United is about to get underway here on 5 Sports Extra. I'm Vicky Sparks. Alongside me is the former Leeds and Manchester City midfielder Michael Brown. And Brownie, only one place to start this evening. Hugely sad news coming out of West Ham today. Co-chairman David Gold passing away this morning at the age of 86 after a short illness.
Extremely sad news as you see the tributes rushing in at Ellen Road, and from both football clubs are going to give that support from a true football person. That's what I would say. Growing up, loving football, the support he's give to different football clubs, as we know, has been phenomenal. That support to managers, to players. And I've just heard tributes over on 5 Live from different players who love being in and around his company. And it's a really, really sad day for these West Ham supporters.
And that's something that manager David Moyes has called out today as well. One of many people paying tribute to David Gold. Moyes saying he was extremely saddened to hear the news, and highlighted how David Gold was a regular visitor to Rush Green, West Ham's training ground, and his co-chairman David Sullivan, who took West Ham over with Gold 13 years ago, said this: of all our joint ventures, none gave us more pride and happiness than the day we took ownership of West Ham United, our club. And that's it about David Gold, isn't it? West Ham fan through and through, grew up directly opposite the old Boleyn ground, played for them at junior level as well. The club meant a huge amount to him.
And I think that tells you everything, doesn't it? Do you know, imagine when they first took the ownership, and then they've seen some good times, they've seen some difficult situations, but David Moyes, the last couple of years, we've seen massive games, massive improvement in the squad. Yes, it hasn't gone down so well this season so far, but it just tells you, and you can only imagine the conversations between the two of them, how proud they would have been, and that enjoyment to lead such a fabulous football club.
And that's it, you touched on it there, Michael. It is fair to say he's seen highs and lows during those 13 years as co-chairman. You had relegation, promotion, the move to the London Stadium, of course, sharp criticism of the board from fans at times. But if we look at the last 2 complete seasons for West Ham, qualifying for Europe in back-to-back campaigns, and it's all about trying to turn things round now for David Moyes at the other end of the table.
Well, I think this is it, and obviously we can hear the respect all being placed from the players and obviously the announcer in the stadium, and they'd love to get a result tonight, so will the manager, but this is different tonight, and some sad scenes in that director's box, and so they'll be looking to get a real top performance from David Moyes and his team.
Yes, the picture in black and white of David Gold up on the screen now at Ellen Road, and spontaneous applause breaking out here. Both teams will be wearing black armbands for this match, and we've seen joint tributes as well from West Ham and Leeds. A shirt of West Ham laid in the director's box, and flowers from Leeds United, the shirt with number 1 and gold on the back. Very sad day for West Ham United, and David Gold remembered here, tributes paid here at Ellen Road ahead of this match between two sides who are separated by just 2 points in the Premier League table. In terms of the team news, 2 changes for Leeds. Crescencio Somerville is back to full fitness. He starts in place of Jack Harrison. Mark Rocker comes in for Adam Forshaw. Defender Max Wöber signed yesterday from Jesse Marsh's former club Red Bull Salzburg. He has been presented to fans on the pitch before kick-off, but not eligible to play this evening. 4 changes for West Ham. They revert to a back 4 as well after experimenting with that back 3 in the defeat by Brentford. A full Premier League debut for Morocco defender Naif Aguerd. £30 million arrival in the summer. He's missed most of this season with an ankle injury. Kehrer, Souček and Fornals also come in for West Ham. Out go Benrahma, Cresswell, Emerson and Ogbonna all on the bench. And in terms of the team news there, Michael, I mean, yes, West Ham have many reasons for their struggles this season. They've got half the number of points that they had at this stage last season. They've scored just under half the number of goals, but they've not been helped by injuries, particularly to their new arrivals. To be able to start again, who was a huge player as Morocco reached the semi-finals of the World Cup, is big.
It's huge, and that's ultimately you look to improve the squad. I thought they had a great understanding, a great togetherness, but you wanted to take them on again to the next level. You realise how much energy it took out of those players the last couple of seasons, and it just hasn't really hit the ground running with the signs, as you say. When you've got a bit more choice, do you change things a little bit earlier? And players missing minutes certainly doesn't help when you want to bring them back in this situation as well, when you want them to come into more of a confident situation.
So it will be West Ham to get us underway this evening, playing in the traditional claret and blue. Leeds United in all whites. Our referee David Coote looks at his watch, puts the whistle to his lips, and we're underway here on 5 Sports Extra for this huge match in the Premier League. As we say, just 2 points separating Leeds United in 14th, West Ham in 17th coming into this evening's games. Leeds having played 1 game fewer. So of course that means if West Ham were to win, if they were to end this run of 5 defeats in a row in the Premier League, they would leapfrog Leeds in the table. And they had the ball at the back just outside their own penalty area, played forward by Aged on his full Premier League debut, but intercepted by Leeds United. Luke Ayling plays it out to the right hand side, and Rodrigo, who tried to play it forward quickly just behind Wilfred Gnonto, and the ball is cleared by West Ham, picked up by Skamaka, and now Paquetá out to the right hand side, and Jarrod Bowen down the right he goes towards the Leeds United penalty area, cleared away by captain Liam Cooper, out for a throw to West Ham midway through the Leeds half, 0-0.
Very frantic start from both teams. I do expect that sort of high press wherever that opportunity is. I'm sure West Ham coming here will want to quieten this very, very noisy crowd, and Stem, who've had sort of the first bit of momentum.
Yeah, ball into the area looking forward. Gianluca Scamacca is eventually cleared away by Leeds, but West Ham pick it up once more, and out to the left hand side they go, and Pablo Fornals, one of 4 changes that David Moyes has made. Poor ball back though by Kera, an error from him, and Rodrigo's into the penalty area. Sliding challenge by Aged is a good one. It's gone out for a corner. Well, Ellen Road roared Michael Brown, but none of the players responded.
Well, it was a poor mistake. I was just waiting, looking at the referee as the challenge comes across sort of outside of the right foot, and it was a good one, wasn't it? As Rodrigo just breaks into the box at one point, I'm thinking, can he get his shot right across Fabianski? He just sort of ran out of steam. Good recovery run, but it was a poor pass initially.
The sort of form he showed at the World Cup again for Morocco. It leads to a Leeds United corner, but it was an excellently timed sliding challenge in the penalty area. Corner to Leeds from the right hand side, cleared away by West Ham on the edge of their own 6-yard box. Leeds will pick it up once more. Good strength will send it all the way back to the halfway line, and Tyler Adams
just trying to set that trap. You know the experience that West Ham have, and I was here at Ellen Road against Manchester City, and they rode the luck a lot, Leeds United, and ultimately they committed forward, and they forgot to look after when they've got the set piece. It's Kevin De Bruyne, and I think that's a lesson for them, and they're in a good position to make sure they're solid, and when you're not winning games.
So the rain teeming down here at Ellen Road, goalless in the early stages as Leeds bring it out to the right hand side, and Luke Ayling will play it all the way back to Robin Koch, and he goes to his captain Liam Cooper, and we can take you through the Leeds lineup. Meslier in goal. The back four of Ayling, Koch, Cooper and Strauch. Ahead of them it's Rocker and Adams, with Somerville, Aronson and Gnonto supporting Rodrigo up front. No Patrick Bamford, still out injured. The same goes for Luis Sinisterra. Stuart Dallas as well, those absentees for Leeds. No Maxwell Cornet or Kurt Zuma still for West Ham, as Leeds pick it up on the halfway line and send it out to the right hand side. Acres of space for Ayling, who's closed down by Kera. Ball into the area from Ayling, cleared away by West Ham. Up towards halfway, well read by Tyler Adams, and plays it forward now as Leeds work it out to the right hand side, and Rocker. Here comes Adams once more. 4 minutes gone, 0-0 here at Ellen Road between Leeds and West Ham, as Leeds enjoy this little spell of possession. And so much tonight, Michael, is about how both sides cope with the pressure. Although, as David Moyes pointed out before this match, because of the timing of the World Cup, we're still not yet halfway through the season.
I know, I think he'll tell you every stat at the moment till he finds one that suits him and gets some results. But just looking at Leeds' setup, actually, Adams, Rocker just sitting as the two holders, and then interlink, poor header.
And Scamacca could be in here for West Ham into the penalty area. Can he work the shooting chance? Couldn't pull the trigger quickly enough, and now the flag goes up on the far side. And Scamacca's blushes perhaps are spared.
Yeah, they are spared. You just look at a poor defensive header as it just goes into the penalty area. Cooper comes across. Just trying to see how the offside decision was. I was thinking, was it off a Leeds head rather than a West Ham one as the flag came up? Good covering across the pitch. Cooper comes and makes it difficult.
So free kick for Leeds United will be taken by Meslier and plays it forward to Rocker midway through the Leeds half. West Ham incidentally with Fabianski in goal. The back four of Sofal, Dawson, Aged and Kehrer, who started out at left back. Ahead of them it's Souček and Rice with Bowen, Paquetá and Fornal supporting Scamacca. Leeds have a free kick just outside the centre circle, just inside the West Ham half. It'll be interesting to see what sort of role Paquetá takes up for this one, Michael, because he played deeper when they switched formation against Brentford. David Moyes had said that he might persist with him in a deeper lying role, but Souček back in, and do we expect Paquetá to just push that little bit further forward?
You would. It looks like they're in a sort of a three with Declan Rice being the deep liar. But we'll soon see how he progresses, and I'm thinking Leeds United have given them something to think about. If you look, Nonto just coming across, looks like he could be struggling. Somerville going out on to the left hand side, but when in good possession, almost like a box, Leeds United. See Aronson coming inside, but just keep an eye on that injury.
Yeah, good spot, Michael. He is limping. Wilfred Gnonto, not anymore though. He's racing down the left hand side as Somerville finds him. Gnonto tried to play the ball into the penalty area, blocked away by Rice. Well, all of a sudden he just came to life, didn't he, Wilfred Gnonto? But as you say, he had been limping very heavily. Maybe he's got better.
He was, but he's obviously took that ball on, run down the left hand side. I'll just keep an eye on him. We'll find out quite quickly. He's got some injuries that just take a couple of minutes or so. You can get on with them, and some just don't go away.
Interchange of passes between Somerville and Gnonto as the ball is back with Tyler Adams. Plays the ball into the West Ham penalty area. Ayling was up there, wins the header, sends it behind. He was on the stretch, Luke Ayling, but notable already how far forward Ayling is getting in these attacks.
Yeah, he's going all the way, isn't he? Almost like a wing back in that position in possession. He's allowed to go right on, and that's probably the balance that allows it to do it. Strike just coming across that left hand side, drifting in with the other two centre backs, Robin Cott and Cooper.
Well, he's limping again, Wilfred Gnonto. Every time he goes towards his own goal he limps, and then when he turns towards the West Ham penalty area, suddenly he goes into overdrive as Tyler Adams wins the header. High boot there by Rodrigo on Declan Rice, and it will be a free kick to West Ham as the captain goes down, both arms over his head, just inside the Leeds United half. 0-0, 7.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, he was very brave there, Rodrigo come across, and actually it was right sort of behind his ear with his left foot sort of raked right down the side of his face. Let's hope he's okay, but his reaction was very, very quick that he went to the floor, and I don't often see Declan Rice have that as we just watch the slow-mo. And to be fair though, Declan Rice puts his head really, really low. So I'm not saying there's any intent, but it could be a sore one at the back of the ear.
Well, the West Ham medical staff are on. So treatment for Declan Rice. He's been active on social media this week, Declan Rice, calling out a couple of fans for...
He's given me a yellow card there. Sorry to interrupt you there, Vicky, but do you know what I just said straight away? I understand, but when we had the benefit of the replay, Declan Rice really sort of exaggerates to put his head really, really low into the situation, and that's why I felt, you know, he deserved the benefit of the doubt on this situation.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's a foul, he's caught him, but in terms of the yellow, I think there are, as Michael says, mitigating circumstances. But David Coote doesn't agree. It's a yellow card early on for Rodrigo.
Do you know what that tells me? Do you know when you see the injury from the referee, he sees that he's really caught him, the stud's down his face, he's down for a long period of time, he's had a long time to think about it. Why didn't you give him the yellow card much quicker? He's just looked at the injury and thought, do you know what, I'm going to be safe here in case that's a really bad one, I'm going to make sure I acted on it.
Well, the Leeds fans aren't happy because Rice has not gone off the pitch despite the medical staff coming on, that is something that occasionally the referee can use a bit of discretion if it looks as though it's a serious injury and the player is able to continue on the pitch. But Leeds anyway have dealt with that set piece and they have the ball over on the left hand side.
Probably the 4 studs down the side of his face, he'll probably give that away, that the referee could possibly make sure Declan Rice is okay first.
Clearance straight out of play from Illan Meslier, and West Ham have a throw over on the far side. 9.5 minutes gone, 0-0 here at Ellen Road. Also goalless in the 7:30 kick-off. Huge game taking place between two sides below both of these in the table. Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 0. So West Ham throw over on the far side. Infield they go to Gianluca Scamacca, who can't keep hold of it, and the ball is all the way back with Koch, and then Cooper, who clears up towards the halfway line. Rodrigo got a bit too much on that header, sending it back into his own half, and it's picked up for West Ham by Pablo Fornals. Out to the right hand side is the blue booted Jared Bowen. Back in field to Fornals once more. Appeal of handball not given, but Stroud intercepts and sends it forward to the 19-year-old Wilfred Gnonto, nicely through the legs of Paqueta, but straight into Fornals, and West Ham have it over on the right hand side. Ball played forward, too much on it, and it will roll behind for a Leeds goal kick. Just going back to that point we started chatting about, Declan Rice had a bit of criticism on social media, called out a fan who said that he'd given up. This is what Rice said: "I keep reading little comments like this that are complete nonsense. I would never ever give up." Now, he's being strongly linked with a move in the summer. I guess there's a few things there, Michael, as Leeds play this goal kick out, but is that something as a player that you're entitled to defend yourself, or is it something that actually is perhaps unwise?
It's unwise to certain players, but if I'm a supporter of West Ham, the one player I would not be saying anything to is Declan Rice. So whoever is his friends, you need to get hold of him and actually start saying, we need this guy, we need him as long as we possibly can at this football club. He's been an incredible servant. I really like him. He's a real top team player. What he brings, unselfish. He does the horrible work that nobody sees, and then when needed later on in games, drives forwards, creates. He's a wonderful player, and I'm glad he said something, to be fair.
West Ham in possession with Jared Bowen, forced back into his own half, and will play it all the way back to Aguerd, calmly out to the left hand side, and Thilo Kehrer, he plays it forward over the halfway line. So check down, Koch got a foot in, and it will be a throw. I thought for a second there Jesse Marsh was going to take that throw himself, but it's not gone to Leeds anyway, and it will be a throw to West Ham on the halfway line.
It'll be an interesting night, actually. I'm just going to try and keep an eye on David Moyes and Jesse Marsh, because there just could be as this game develops, it could just be a few heated discussions, should I say.
Big goal at Southampton. It's gone to Nottingham Forest in the 7:30 kickoff. They have taken the lead at Southampton. Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 1, as West Ham play the ball to the edge of the penalty area. Souček lays it off to Kehrer, who swings it in. It's headed away by Leeds, and then Rice on the volley hits it, almost spins out to Bowen, does spin out to Bowen, right hand side of the penalty area. He's done really well to keep that in there, Bowen, as West Ham work it nicely down the right hand side, scooped in over the head of Souček, picked up once more though by Kehrer. Leeds really not able to get a foot on the ball at the moment, as that 1-2 just breaks down. Paqueta looking for Kehrer, who'd made the run, can't keep it in, but warning signs here, Michael, for Leeds United. 12 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah, Paqueta, good ball, just ran away, but it was the vision, upright, his left foot, tried to guide it in those sort of passing areas, but Bowen did extremely well in the build-up.
They've given the ball away, Leeds, just outside their own penalty area. Fornals has won the corner off Ayling. Well, they put in such a good defensive performance at St James's Park at the weekend. Leeds, Jesse Marsh talking about building on the momentum of that defensive display. Yes, they rode their luck at times. Yes, Meslier and Cooper stood out, but they still earns a point and a clean sheet. But they're under the cosh here early on at Ellen Road against West Ham here on 5 Sports Extra, as Fornals prepares to take this corner. Swung into a packed 6-yard box. Good header away by Koch. Paqueta hit it brilliantly on the edge of the area, blocked away by Aronson, and spins out to Sofal. And now Paqueta down the right hand side up against Tyler Adams, gets a foot in. West Ham throw. It's all the away side at the moment, Michael Brown.
That was a good set piece, headed away, edge of the area. It's a dream volley coming out of the sky. He hits it so well, but Aronson gets across in the blocking lane, stops it heading towards the goal. Meslier would be sort of unsighted with all the bodies in front of him. Was such a good strike.
So throw to West Ham, high into the penalty area again, just over the head of Souček. You have to go some to get it over the head of Souček. He's such a tall player, but they do, West Ham, twice in quick succession as Aronson goes down under the challenge of Kehrer, and it's a free kick to Leeds midway through their own half, and a chance to alleviate some of this West Ham pressure.
Yeah, it is, but Aronson, wonderful feet. I really like watching him doing tight areas, how he takes the ball, just that little turn, knows the defender, drops his shoulder out left side, just turns out on the right, draws the foul. Wonderful skill.
Koch under pressure inside his own penalty area as Leeds look to play out from the back. As it was under Bielsa, so it is under Marsh. They do not change their style of play for anybody, Leeds, as Monto goes down. Now he's doing that. This is interesting because he's doing that universal substitution gesture with his hands, but he's got up, jogged away. There's no movement on the Leeds bench. Maybe it means something different in Yorkshire, but certainly up for this one, Willie Gnonto. Can his body hold up? He's not limping as he has been. Nice movement through the centre, and he picks it up now midway through the West Ham half. Was nudged into by Declan Rice, but had already given the ball away, and West Ham will bring the ball over the halfway line almost. No good defending on that far side by Crescencio Somerville. Declan Rice picks it up, and it's all the way back with Aged.
I think what you were thinking, he sort of rolls his arm thinking, is it one of those to take me off? And I was thinking, surely not. If I'm a player, I'm thinking you're going to get on with it wherever you can, but to be fair to him, he did. Just might have been giving me the pass earlier. Luke Ayling started the build-up. It was a great pass inside, wasn't it? Under pressure. Then they got out, drawn the foul. It's been a very indifferent start, hasn't it, to the game. West Ham coming forward more than Leeds United.
There we go. That's the insight you're here for, Michael Brown. Give me the ball faster. That's what it is. Not that substitution gesture, and that's good news for Leeds. But so far, it's all West Ham still as the ball is charged down as Sofal tries to play it into the area, but Declan Rice will pick it up just outside the centre circle. Exchanges passes with Aged, who was already directing Fornals where to go, and Fornals picks it up now. Back in field to Declan Rice. 0-0, 16 minutes gone here at Ellen Road on 5 Sports Extras. Jared Bowen heads it back to Sofal. Lovely layoff by Pakisar. Down the right hand side goes Bowen, just got a yard of space, plays the ball in, looking for Souček again. Cleared away by Leeds. Miscued on the edge of his own area by Aronson, so Rice will pick it back up. Out to Kehrer, left hand side, dinks it in. It's a poor delivery. Koch can get there. Headed forward by Dawson, who's midway through the Leeds half. So far back are Leeds, pinned by their own penalty area, but again David Coote's whistle saves them. Luke Ayling down, free kick. It's coming together quite nicely for West Ham at the moment.
It really is. Declan Rice upright, comfortable, checks his shoulder, diagonal pass, little round the corner, Jared Bowen, and then there's that run that we talk about so many times. Souček is getting into the penalty sort of area, 6 yard sort of box, just misses it. It's a great time, and it's a great West Ham. So that's one of the moves that you expect a top West Ham side or a good firing West Ham side to produce.
Leeds in possession inside their own half, and we were talking, weren't we, Michael, about whether it was Pakisar that was going to push forward. It's Souček, isn't it? Souček's been given licence to get into the penalty area. It's
like a 1 and a 2, do you know, when they're pressing. So Rice just sits there, the other two just in front, going to press wherever they can on Adams, Rocker.
Over on the far side, Somerville wins the throw for Leeds. If we talk about having big players like Aged back for Leeds United, Somerville, get back for West Ham I should say, Somerville, huge player for Leeds to have, particularly in the continued absence of Patrick Bamford. 4 goals in his last 5 Premier League games. They all came in the 4 matches before the break for the World Cup as Rocker plays the ball into the area, very calmly left by Craig Dawson behind for a West Ham goal kick.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it, in the transfer market. Patrick Bamford, I believe he was back on the grass, so he's getting closer. So will he have made this game? And as a manager, you know, you're looking and you're thinking, well, I need him back in the side, but ideally I'd give him 2 or 3 weeks build up. Let's keep a Patrick Bamford right until the end of the season. But when you need results and points as a manager, Jesse Marsh might be thinking, I might not be here in 2 or 3 weeks. I might need him on this pitch, to save my job.
Header away by Koch, who's a bit of a busy man in this opening 19 minutes. 0-0 as Leeds look to pounce with Aronson, but well read by Kehrer. all the way back to Fabianski, who clears up towards the edge of the centre circle. Header won by Adams, now Gnonto. Somerville plays it forward again to Gnonto. Flying header from Craig Dawson, who came out of his own penalty area there, but won back by Leeds. Somerville then was fouled by Sofal over on the far left-hand side. And Leeds United will have a free kick.
Yeah, they will. Kerr's got to be careful, though. He keeps playing that square pass and backwards. Aronson just jumping on top of it. Nearly got caught yet again, but just going back to the Somerville dive. There's a tiny scrape down the side of his left boot, and not sure why he's still on the floor, unless he has got an injury in that area.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Is it an aggravation of the problem that he's been struggling with? He's up to his knees, Somerville. Nottingham Forest in the 7:30 kickoff, still leading 1-0 at Southampton. And you look at the Premier League table, I mean, from Leicester in 13th to Southampton in 20th, just 5 points between them. And now Nottingham Forest, with that scoreline, moving out of the relegation zone. They're on 17 points, so are Leeds, so are Leicester. West Ham are on 15, they're out of the relegation zone on goal difference now, ahead of David Moyes' former side Everton. It is so tight down there.
Just tells you what a win for one of these teams could do for them right in this situation, and that'll open up so much for them.
West Ham have won the ball outside their own area and play it up towards halfway. Leeds trying to get a foot in, and in the end the ball goes out of play for a West Ham throw midway through their own half, which Sofal will take. Yes, West Ham have lost their last 5 Premier League games. If they lose here at Ellen Road, they will equal the club record of consecutive Premier League defeats. Stands at 6, set in 2010 under Gianfranco Zola. But yes, records are something for us commentators and statisticians to keep half an eye on, but it's the immediate damage that it would do, losing to what is at the moment, although as David Moyes says, we're not halfway through the season, but at the moment he's a relegation rival. As the ball goes out of play, Jesse Marsh helps the throw be taken quickly, sending it to Ayling, who takes that throw down the line to Aronson. Back to Ayling once more, right hand side, swings the ball into the West Ham area, miscontrol by Rocker, but Kjera is dispossessed and the ball is dinked back in. Fabianski underneath it, gets something on it. Sofal helps him out of the penalty area. Tyler Adams, was he flattened there? Ellen Rose says he was, and David Coope belatedly decides that he agrees. Free kick to Leeds, great position this, central position, best part of 25 yards out.
Yeah, great work, Ayling, down the right hand side, and there is just a sort of a sandwich, isn't there, on Adams on the edge of the area. Leeds supporters asking for it. David Moyes just going across to the official. Kjera's got to liven up and get caught again on the byline, waiting for it to go out. Ayling behind him. He's not had a good start in his first 20 minutes or so. This is a huge opportunity now for Leeds United.
Well, the ball's been placed a little bit further back, I think, from where that incident took place. It's probably the best part of 30 yards out. Central position, the West Ham claret and blue wall is lining up just on the edge of the penalty area. You then have 3 Leeds players staying the required 1 yard away, but to the right of that wall they have options here. Leeds, what will they go for? Rocker is there, Gnonto as well, he leaves it. Rocker dinks it in, left hand side of the area, ball across, blocked behind by Sofal. It is a Leeds corner, try something a little different.
It was an understatement. There's so many players running over the top of the ball thinking, is it going to be that shot? But they had a block on the back post. I think it was a really good set piece, and it almost come off. Just seeing as it's coming right to the back post, and Rodrigo just trying to get a left foot volley, but when it's coming over your head, very difficult. But I like that set piece. Yeah,
he doesn't make the clean connection, but he had the space. They had worked it well. Leeds 0-0 midway through the first half here on 5 Sports Extra, as the corner for Leeds is swung in high. It's over the head of Pascal Strauch and will bounce behind for a West Ham goal kick.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed with that. You got good pressure on. I think that's one thing you want to make sure. They've just done it on the free kick. They made sure someone's right at the back post. You've got to do that on your own set piece, but they were narrow. Got caught out as it ran out the back from the corner kick. Jesse March just addressing all his staff. You'd be thinking, is there any detail? Is there anything that information be given to him just to give him some sort of improvement on this first half performance?
Sojek heads the ball forward, goes out of play for a Leeds throw midway through their own half. Goalless here Leeds United, who have lost 6 of their last 9 Premier League games. But this is the thing with West Ham and Leeds, and both managers are certainly making this argument. 4 of those last 6 defeats for Leeds were by a single goal. They beat Liverpool in that run as well, and I think both David Moyes and Jesse Marsh have looked at certain performances, certain games, and said, well, actually, a lot of the time we're not playing that badly. It's just getting the results. Now, fans, of course, sometimes will have a different opinion on that, as Cooper picks it up for Leeds. Bowen almost gets hold of it and does well to win the throw. Well, very well, according to Leeds United and Ellen Road, because they feel that should be a throw to Leeds, but it's not. It's to West Ham. But what do you make of, as West Ham can't keep it in and Leeds are happy because they've got the throw back? What do you make of that? Which manager is fairer in pointing to performances, do you think?
I think that's always the difficult situation. I think you look at the experience that David Moyes has. He can talk about performance all he likes, but I know exactly what he'd rather have and be standing there saying we're not playing great, but we're in a really good place. So listen, I think that's the difference. One real experience, one not so much, and it's a very, very unforgiving league in this Premier League. You've got to find any sort of positive you can to feed to the supporters and your team, and that's what we see quite often now in those million interviews that they've got to do.
Meslier just allowing the ball to run into the area and picking it up under close attention from Pablo Fornals, and will bowl it out underarm to Robin Koch. 25 minutes gone on 5 Sports Extra, 0-0 between Leeds and West Ham, and it's been a well contested game. Leeds just playing their way back into it after real early pressure from West Ham, and Rodrigo's done again there very well, then held up Rodrigo, stopped his own momentum there as Souček got back, but now plays it to Ayling, right hand side, swings it into the penalty area. Leeds have a player down. Somerville was there at the far post, everybody's claiming it. David Coote says goal kick, and Aronson just gets to his feet. He was the player that went down in the box for Leeds, but a little battle developing there between Rodrigo and Aged, and that time Rodrigo sold him down the river. Yeah,
Rodrigo did very, very well. He just sort of played his own flick on it as he rolled round the corner. Great work again, Ayling down that right hand side, deep cross, just at that back post. Somerville just sort of jumped, ricocheted off him to go to a goal kick, but been a better spell from Leeds United.
Header won by Robin Koch, forward to Rodrigo, just inside the West Ham half, and Souček gets the block, played out for Ayling to take this throw. Nottingham Forest still leading Southampton by a goal to 0. 0-0 here at Ellen Road. 2 8 o'clock kickoffs, goalless between Crystal Palace and Tottenham, but Wolves have just taken the lead at Aston Villa. Wolves, another of the teams below these sides, as Gnonto into the area. Brilliant goal for Leeds. Wilfred Gnonto, the 19-year-old, with a quite superb finish inside the penalty area. His first goal for Leeds United, and what a precious one it could be from the Italian, because it puts them ahead against West Ham. Leeds 1, West Ham 0.
What a goal. The atmosphere should see everybody up, delighted with that strike. Gnonto getting into a great area, but for me it was a great finish with his left foot. But Somerville, it's a little disguised pass outside of his foot, thinking is he going to go wide? He doesn't, so threads it really tight. Good first touch, he hits it so well under pressure, no backlift into the corner. Fabianski, no chance.
They've just shown a replay on the screen, and you know, Michael Brown, don't you, when a goal is good, because an ooh goes round the stadium, and that is what we've just had here. It is such composure from the teenager, but that's what he does. He shows it. He's Italy's youngest goal scorer in their history. He is such a bright talent, and he's showing it already. You know, we talk about whether players are one for the future. He's one for the present.
I think that injury seems to have gone away, hasn't it? I mean, literally, as he strikes it near post, sort of 18 yards out, but he hits it so quick. That's what does the goalkeeper after that good first touch.
Ball out to the right hand side for West Ham, looking to hit back immediately. Big punch by Meslier as it was swung into the area by Sofal, and Rodrigo clears up towards halfway. Header is won by Dawson. Header is straight out of play by Dawson, and Ellen Road sits back and relives mentally That finish from Wilfried Gnonto, arrived in the summer from the Swiss champion Zurich. It's one of these, it's sliding doors moment really, Michael, as Leeds prepared to take this throw. He was expected to join the club in a later transfer window, but became a last-minute deadline day signing. Impressed Jesse Marsh since he arrived. This is 4th Premier League start. And he's got the opening goal here on 5 Sports Extra. 29 minutes played as here goes Somerville. Stopped on the edge of the penalty area. David Coote says fairly. And the ball is cleared up towards halfway. Chester down by Strauch. Skamaka battling back there, trying to win the throw, and does win the throw for West Ham, who are up against it in terms of the scoreline once again. And will David Moyes say this is what he felt against Brentford? They played well, Brentford got the goal, and then they just weren't able to find a way back into it. Is it going to be same old story for West Ham?
Well, we'll soon see. They did start better, but I just said it, didn't I? I feel like it was a spell for Leeds United, and especially down this right-hand side.
It was. Leeds have worked their way back into this game. They've taken the lead. They're looking to double it. Here is Somerville into the area. Just played it behind Aronson on the edge of the D, but it's come to Ayling, who's forward once again. West Ham appeal for offside, not given. Adams urged to shoot. Plays it to Gnonto, who does shoot. Didn't catch it like he would have wanted to, and it's straight into the arms of Fabianski.
Great work again down the right-hand side, and that overload, as we said, it allowed him to go. Luke Ayling comes back inside and obviously kept it alive, ringed the area, good little flick over the top. Gnonto tries to take it on. If he'd have scored that, I think the roof would have fell off. It would have been an incredible strike. Didn't catch it as clean as you would have liked. That's a real difficult technique, wide of the penalty area. It's coming on the volley, sort of side on, slightly behind you. To get it past the goalkeeper would have been unbelievable.
Well, he's full of confidence, Wilfried Gnonto. Where can West Ham find their confidence from? As Michael said, they'd started this game better. Leeds have played their way back into it, and it's Leeds who have the breakthrough as Adams dinks it forward, only straight to the feet of Declan Rice. Fornals will send it into the Leeds half. It's well intercepted by Somerville. Adams, Gnonto. The combinations between those three. I mean, Adams is just, he looks such a presence even at his young age, as Koch has it for Leeds United. We saw him so impressive on and off the pitch for the USA, captaining them at the World Cup as he picks it up again in the centre circle. That is a signing for Leeds that has been key to the good things they've done this season.
I think you've got to look at as well as they've not been able to make ridiculous levels of signings. First strings are tight. The January window will probably tell you that scenario as well. That it's not going to be floods and floods of players. They might be able to get one more or so.
Yeah, a huge thing will be the fitness of Patrick Bamford as Leeds have it outside their own penalty area, all the way back to Meslier, leading by a 0-0, and that's it. Michael, you mentioned that, you know, he looks as though he's going to be back, but then he can so often pick up another niggle. That's the issue with Bamford, these injury struggles.
They need a 9, don't they? Ideally, there's a slight elbow there. I'm not sure he meant it, but Aronson has got that right in the face. Referee saying it's with his arm. I think he does well there, the referee. I think he's in a good position. David Coote decides to make that decision early before it gets into a key area.
So Meslier comes over to take this free kick for Leeds United. 13 minutes to play in this first half. It is Leeds who lead by a 0-0. But hope perhaps for West Ham. Leeds have conceded 3 goals in each of their last 3 Premier League home games. Clean sheet though against Newcastle United last time out. Impressively so. Clean sheet here, and they'll take all 3 points because they lead by a 0-0. Aronson has it down the right hand side, goes one way and then the other against Agard, plays it in, it's blocked by Kehrer, and it's behind for another Leeds corner. And we said West Ham had all the momentum early on. Leeds have got it all now.
Agard and Kehrer can't actually find themselves out. They don't know whether to stick, twist, go tight, to come short. Don't know whether to get closer to each other. They're not having the best of times, and this is the problem, Joe, when you've not played tons of minutes.
Corner to Leeds United. That's the question, isn't it, for David Moyes, whether to stick or twist. He's made 4 changes again. You can understand why Agard's come in, as David Coote makes sure that all is right in the penalty area, but it's still shuffling around that back line once more. Michael thoughts in a moment as Leeds send the corner in, and it's cleared away at the near post and then blazed over on the follow-up by Brendan Aronson. It was a difficult chance. He was falling as he took it, and West Ham survived. Leeds 1, West Ham 0 it remains.
Yeah, it's just that delivery to the front post, and as Aronson goes to take the ball, I'm just seeing of the contact that comes in towards him, and I think Bowen does very, very well. It's a risky one. He actually grabs him on the bicep and just sort of pulls him slightly off balance, which makes him put the ball over. Difficult one to actually go after. It could be a silly one when you've got the VAR situation, but just enough put him off.
Ball goes out of play for a West Ham throw just inside their own half. Half time at Southampton. Nottingham Forest still leading by a goal to nil. And Wolves in the 8 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League still 1-0 up at Aston Villa. Plenty of time, of course, to go in that match. Goalless between Crystal Palace and Tottenham, but neither of those results going the way of Leeds United or West Ham. If you look at the teams below them, could really do with a draw between Southampton and Nottingham Forest, although long way to go in this Premier League season, and Wolves winning, not good news either if you're currently stuck in a relegation battle near the foot of the table. West Ham have won a throw. Kerr has it, level with the edge of the Leeds penalty area, left hand side, as they look to get back on level terms. And here goes Kerr, long throw into the area, headed away by Robin Koch. Kerr will send it back in. It's a poor delivery, it's behind, and Meslier will just wander over to those Leeds fans behind the goal, and they throw the yellow ball back to him, and he comes and takes his time.
The experience of Cooper tried to buy a free kick, referee not having it. See, that throw-in came across, and I was wondering if that did create a goal. The Leeds United supporters were wondering why it wasn't given to him. I can imagine their reaction. I think David Moyes in his sort of left-sided position, left back, might be making some changes.
Fornals plays the ball into the area. Paquetá is in there. Did he get a little nudge? Oh, he tried to backheel it, Paquetá, then has to hurdle a cameraman and apologises as he almost took out both man and camera. Well, nice bit of improvisation by Paquetá, and all of a sudden Leeds United almost undone. Yeah,
it was a great pass. You've seen come right across the pitch. Pascal Struijk trying to recover. Good first touch. He has to take the next one with a head. But then a little nudge just puts him again, and these are the ones you don't often see, but he tried to take it on. I felt like he could have come back onto the pitch. He was running out of space. It tells you as he goes over the advertising hoardings and the camera.
So Meslier clears long over the halfway line. Is that one, if he goes down there, is it enough of a nudge, or is it normal contacts? Or because we like to see players stay on their feet, of course we do, but
that's the difficult one. Do you know, if he actually goes down, he gives straight away them a big decision. If that nudge looks like there's that hand there and he falls slightly forward, you're getting it. Although we don't want to see it unless it really is, you know.
Meslier comes out of the penalty area. The clearance not quite good enough. Almost the effort from 45 yards with Meslier off his line. What improvisation by Sofal. Meslier had come and made a good sliding challenge outside his penalty area. It fell straight to Sofal, hit it first time, and it's one of those, Michael Brown, we're watching it drop. We think, is that going under the bar? Fortunately for Leeds United, it went just over and bounced off the top of the net.
The goalkeeper comes out to win the challenge, goes back into the right back situation where West Ham Sofal is. He comes right onto it and hits it, but he hits it so high. I point to you straight away, didn't I, to say this has got every chance, and then it drops out the sky. We've at our point here, we can't actually see the ball because it goes above the stand, and we're watching thinking, is it going to drop in, is it? And it just hits the top of the net and just behind the crossbar. That would have been incredible, so close. Great effort.
Well, he's still waiting for his first West Ham goal, Vladimir Sofal, since joining back in October 2020, as Leeds almost get themselves into a bit of trouble inside their own penalty area. Strout clears it out to the left-hand side. Leeds still leading by a goal to nil. Somerville under pressure, and West Ham all of a sudden just picking up. We asked where that confidence might come from as they almost win the ball outside the Leeds penalty area. Goes behind for a Leeds goal kick, but that's the irony, isn't it? It's not gone in. It's still 1-0 to Leeds, but even the audacity and the execution to try an effort like that that's close, and suddenly West Ham have got a bit of a second wind.
They've got that momentum. That's something you need. I mean, you're seeing straight away he had to go for it because the goalkeeper's right out. He's on the floor, sort of 25 yards out with his clearance, scampering back. He couldn't have got there. Literally, was it? It's a couple of pieces to that net away from the crossbar. It's been sort of one of those Premier League goals to say what happened next, surely.
He's on the ball here, Sofal in the traditional right back position, just inside his own half, and Leeds have won it back on the halfway line. Here is Rocker to Nonto, the goal scorer. Has Somerville as an option to his left and finds Somerville up against Jarrod Bowen, pulls it back to Tyler Adams, who will play it in field to Rocker. Forward now to Adams, and Adams all the way back to Meslier, and you can hear the frustration from the Leeds fans, partly from the decision but also because it wasn't the best back pass. But Mellier's done well, plays it out to the right hand side, and Ayling. West Ham win it back though, and here is Souček, plays it up to Scamacca on the halfway line, who turns and is challenged by Cooper, and Cooper adjudged to have caught Scamacca there by David Coote, and Cooper into the book as well. Free kick West Ham.
Great movement, Scamacca. He just literally goes to go away and just drops back in, gets the ball, gives him that yard, turns, he just tries that sort of like a Ronaldo sort of chop. Well, the next chop came from Cooper, straight through him, yellow card. You can always see that one was going to be given. That's better from West Ham, sort of positive, driving forward passes with intent. Could they go short here on this wide free kick? They've missed the opportunity. Nonto just seen it, and that was a good one. He should have played it.
Yeah, Paqueta was there as an option but closed down by Nonto, so they go right instead. Sofal plays it in, Cox there again. So impressive aerially, but Aronson is dispossessed by Sofal. Leeds felt that could have been a free kick. The fans did certainly. West Ham still have it with Bowen out to the right hand side. Aronson has struck with him while Bowen's done brilliantly. Plays the ball into the area over the head of Scamacca. Fornals met it on the volley into Koch. Paqueta heads towards goal, and the save made by Meslier. Spilled, offside flag up as Souček bundled it in at the second attempt. The initial attempt from Souček, I think, is what the flag's gone up for there. But goodness me, nervy moment for Meslier.
You're going to leave it to me, aren't you? I knew you were going to do that. Brilliant from Bowen down that right hand side. Headed, he was always in an offside position, wasn't he? Souček, as he gets in front of the goalkeeper, heads it on to Meslier. He spills it, and it's sort of in the same moment. Diving header, puts it in the net. He was clearly in an advanced position, easy offside for the assistant referee, but brilliant work, Bowen. Great footwork, great cross.
Yeah, did really well to dig it out there under a huge amount of pressure and just earn that little yard of space. We've seen him do that a couple of times, and that's nicely worked by West Ham as Scamacca races down the left hand side. West Ham finishing this half strongly, plays it in, looking for Bowen. Oh, he went down there. Is that a penalty? West Ham play on. Fornals, oh, he's played it wide.
This could be a penalty.
And now they're asking for the penalty. And David Coote is saying goal kick. Fornals it was, with the chance at the end, drags the shot wide, should have stuck it in the back of the net, and they're all surrounding David Coote now.
Bowen just gets across, great work down the left hand side. It comes really tight on the edge of the area. Bowen just nicks it, goes down and thinking penalty definitely, but it falls into the path of, and I think it's Fornals just in front of the goalkeeper, and just seeing it back, it's got to be given, has it not? It's got to be. They've got to seriously. Paqueta just taking that ball, playing it into the path, and it just goes wide of the Leeds United goal. But you can tell by the referee now, the weight is there. They're in his ear and telling him straight away they're looking at it all day long.
Well, VAR, as Michael says, are having a look at this. I mean, the frustration for West Ham is they should have stuck it away anyway, even if the whistle didn't go. It was a huge chance for Fornals. Well, David Moyes is on the edge of his technical
great pass,
area.
Wasn't it, as well? Great pass.
Very much part of the move, and this is interesting here because Liam Cooper and Illan Meslier are coming over to David Coote, and he's going to the screen. Now, I think what
he's
Leeds...
so unlucky, Pascal, sorry to interrupt, because he doesn't see him coming from his blind side. But I thought it was a good advantage, but actually I don't think he meant it.
Well, he didn't gesture for advantage, so he let the play go on. I guess you know in the back of your mind, if you're David Coote, that VAR can pull it back. Now, this is interesting because Leeds will say, well, really, West Ham had a goal. The goal scoring opportunity was almost restored with the chance that Fornals had.
But to be fair to the referee, did he waive advantage? Because I don't think he's seen it. Do you know, are we going to give him that credit? So he didn't see it. VAR now are looking at it and they feel like it's a penalty kick. And I agree, the contact's there. And let's see, but we've been proved wrong before.
So let's see, it is a penalty. Michael Brown is not proved wrong this time. Penalty to West Ham, and Illan Melié's got the ball outside the centre circle. It's been taken off him by West Ham, and you have to say the protests now are dissipating from Leeds United. Cooper's going over again. As the captain, he's perfectly entitled to do that, and he's pointed to the penalty area. He may be making the argument for Leeds.
I know exactly what's going on here. You've seen Declan Rice straight away. Nonto's on the penalty spot. He's got his foot next to it, so he's thinking straight away that he's roughing up the penalty spot. Melié takes the ball right across to the halfway line, knowing full well there's going to be a penalty. Sort of one goes one way, one goes the opposite. They're delaying the kick. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put uncertainty on this big decision late on in this first half. I mean, massive moment. Melié still not even going into the net.
Yeah, he's having a drink of water. The Leeds fans are telling David Coote to go away because they want their goalkeeper to be able to take all the time that he needs. As Lucas Paquetá puts the ball on the spot for West Ham United. A chance on the stroke of half-time to draw level at Ellen Road. Is Paquetá against Melié. Leeds lead, but is that lead about to evaporate? Paquetá stutters in the run-up and lifts it over the dive of Melié. Good penalty from Paquetá, and West Ham back level, 1-1.
Ridiculous penalty. What a penalty. It's that run-up with that little stutter waiting. Melié goes the right way. I'm thinking he's got it, but it's so good. Left-footed. Goalkeeper going to his left-hand side, and it goes right above his hand, high up into the corner. You see all the bench, Mikel Antonio diving off it. They know that's a big goal. Proper pressure penalty, executed as good as you'll see.
His first goal for West Ham United since arriving from Lyon in the summer. And just as Nonto's was precious for Leeds, how precious could that be for Paquetá and West Ham as we enter 3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. 1-1, and we go again. Amazing ending to this first half, and just things change so quickly. This level of football, the Premier League never disappoints us. You're feeling Leeds United is getting into half time, but it was that counter attack down that left hand side, and I think on this occasion the referees and VAR, I think they got it correct. Yes, it took a little bit of time, but we've got to give credit where credit's due. Yes, Leeds United were disappointed with that advantage, but I truly believe the referee didn't do that on purpose. Yeah, there certainly wasn't a definitive gesture, so if it was something he hadn't spotted, VAR can correct that. And West Ham had the chance and took it from the spot through Paquetá. Appeal for handball on the edge of the West Ham penalty area, not given the way of Leeds United, but they have picked up possession, and it's all the way back with Illan Melié, who just stops releasing that ball because Cooper is down just inside the West Ham half.
Yeah, he's got one right in the face, Cooper. Don't imagine him staying down unless he's thinking right at the end of this first half, we just want to slow it, get some control these last couple of minutes. So he's having a go at the referee. He feels like there is contact in his face, and I know him well. He's not one to stay down unless there is a proper contact in his face. We try and see the replay. It was Fornals, wasn't it? The elbow. Not deliberate, by the way, but contact.
Well, he is up, Cooper. He's made his way back to just outside his own penalty area. 1-1. Seconds remaining in this first half between Leeds United and West Ham United as the ball is cleared away from just outside the West Ham penalty area and bounces out of play for a Leeds throw. Just about to get underway in the second half between Southampton and Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest still lead that by a goal to nil. In the 8 o'clock kickoffs, it's still goalless between Crystal Palace and Tottenham, and Wolves are 1-0 up at Aston Villa. Half time here on 5 Sports Extra. We'll be joining 5 Live's commentary of Crystal Palace and Tottenham as the flag goes up against Leeds for an offside, and Crescencio Somerville comes over and shares his opinion, which is not in agreement with the linesman on that near side.
He's running right down the line like a duck with his boot, 2 legs, one each facing out over, running down, shuffling to the assistant referee saying, give us something. Incredible. He's trying everything.
So Fabianski stealing a few more yards by rolling the ball forward to take this free kick over the halfway line. It goes 1-1 between Leeds and West Ham as Souček wins the header. Skamaka is up there, little push from Cooper, and then Ayling goes down and wins the free kick. And well, it always is the feeling of the home fans, or tends to be, that decisions are going against them. Ironic cheers for
good smile
David
from Ayling, though. Do you see Ayling and Fornals there high-fiving each other? Good sportsmanship, bit of a smile. The fans don't always see that, but there's boos from Ellen Road supporters when they see that back, when they see Bowen is caught. I think it's been a half that they can take the positives Leeds United from, but good recovery from West Ham.
Yeah, brilliant goal by Wilfred Gnonto, and as you say, Michael, not a bad penalty either from Paquetá. 2 moments of quality, and that's why it's 1-1. Yeah,
great penalty. Like I said to you straight away, Meslier on the halfway line, taking his time, not getting in between the sticks and delaying it. Gnonto trying to just sort of scuff the spot slightly, not exactly the sportsmanship we'd expect, but under that sort of pressure, not a great goal record as we know, to go and put it in that corner with that little stutter. Brilliant penalty under that sort of, again as well, in front of all the Leeds United supporters, looking into that crowd, looking into their eyes, and David Moyes' side certainly needed that recovery.
Well, we've seen Sofal go for goal from 40 yards as well, almost managing to cheat Meslier bouncing on the roof of the net. And as Michael touched on there at the end of the first half, it's a game that's been played in a good spirit. Both of these sides under so much pressure, just 2 points still separating them in the table. But we've got a real contest on our hands here on 5 Sports Extra. Half-time at Ellen Road. Leeds 1, West Ham 1. We will be back for the second half here, but during half-time we can cross over to our commentary on 5 Live, where Conor McNamara and Glenn Murray are watching Crystal Palace against Tottenham.
Some tough games coming up for Antonio Conte in the next few weeks. This is Dyer up to the halfway line, short to Brian Hill, shows too much of it to Schlupp. He's not holding onto the ball, the young Spaniard, as Eze comes away with it. That was definitely a foul, a pull of the shirt by Skipper. The referee has indicated that he's allowing play to continue. Zaha into the area, Eze gets a touch off Romero and out for another corner. Crystal Palace corner on the left, 0-0.
And Oliver Skipp in the middle of the park is starting to find things difficult because the Crystal Palace players are skipping by him with ease. He needs to start putting a foot in.
So Palace has had a whole succession of these corners now. Anderson has gone forward, Gehi is up there. Tottenham have pulled everyone back deep in the penalty area to defend it. It will be Michael Olise to take the corner from the left hand side. And a whole rush of Palace players run to attack it, comes off the shoulder of one of them and bounces comfortably into the arms of Hugo Lloris, wearing all yellow, away to our left hand side. This is 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Mentioned there the FA Cup, Tottenham taking on Portsmouth at the weekend. Palace have an old Premier League affair. They host Southampton here in the Cup over the weekend. We've got a load of FA Cup commentaries over the weekend. On Saturday we'll bring you Gillingham against Leicester City. That's the 12:30 game. Then at 3 o'clock our choice is Blackpool against Nottingham Forest. Here comes Son on the attack for Tottenham, and if anything sums up Tottenham's current predicament, it's that attempt of a cross from Son. It's dreadful. He's launched it into the crowd. Absolutely no threat at all. Doesn't that just sum up how Tottenham have been playing?
Yes, it does indeed. And Son, I thought his quality was going to shine through there. He's on the edge of the 18-yard box. He could have shot. He's looking to pass it, but he launches it high and wide into the Crystal Palace fans and stops, looks at the ground and droops his shoulders. Disappointing night so far for Heung-min Son.
Right, 2 teams down the wrong end of the table. Southampton against Nottingham Forest. Back underway for the second half at St Mary's. John Akers.
Yeah, Southampton staring down the barrel of a 6th league defeat in a row, which would equal their worst run in their history. Southampton 0, Forest 1. Iwanyi with the goal in the first half, and he's just put one over the bar after a mistake from Kaleta Char, who just gave it to him 25 yards out. Maybe should have done better. And then Kaleta Char with a header over from a corner from Southampton. We've had 5 minutes of the second half. Southampton 0, Forest 1.
Southampton, who have the worst home record in the Premier League this season. Anderson has possession near the halfway line for Crystal Palace. Palace playing right to left as we look down in there. Red and blue vertical stripes. Tottenham with the white shirts and white socks and the navy shorts, playing from left to right. Schlupp with a header. Good distance on it too. Up towards Zaha. Zaha allows it to run. Ferreze to break into the penalty area. Skip is back there, makes the challenge. Referee was right beside it. No penalty. As he slowly gets back to his feet. Skip must have been worried for a moment, but the referee was right beside that as Cheick Doucouré refuses Højbjerg's attempt of a nutmeg, and Doucouré comes away with possession over the halfway line. He's got Olise to his right hand side. He's still going here, bearing down to the Tottenham penalty area. Now some support. Zaha, left hand side of the box. Hill gets back, better from Brian Hill to make the challenge. But Tottenham can't hold on to possession, they can't retain it, and Palace come again. This is Schlupp, 15 yards inside Tottenham territory, and Spurs are being forced to play deeper and deeper, Glenn Murray.
Yes, they are, and it's through Palace's good play, but they need to make amends while they're on top of this game, because if they don't, the quality of this Spurs side will punish you. They do look laboured so far, but we've seen that in a number of games so far this season. Slow starters usually finish well.
We have played 40 minutes now. There's 5 minutes to go to the break. Tottenham have had one shot on target. That was in the 8th minute by Brian Hill, which sums up the difficulties that Antonio Conte's team are facing here away from home. And Romero's the latest to feel under pressure. He has fouled Ayew inside the centre circle. That's going to be a free kick to Palace. And the referee wants to have a word with that. Now, Ayew was complaining. He got the free kick, but I think he was asking for a card, maybe waving an imaginary one. And the referee, who's Michael Oliver, has just said, well, look, come on, come over here, let's have a chat. Didn't like the tone that Ayew was using against him there.
No, I'm not sure it was a card he was waving. I think he was counting numbers. I think Romero's made quite a number of challenges around the field, and he's chastising to Michael Oliver, pointing at different positions of the pitch where these altercations have happened, and I think a little bit of frustration there from Ayew.
Free kick has been taken short. Crystal Palace have it on the halfway line. Still 0-0 here. It's been an entertaining game so far. Son picks up a loose ball for Tottenham, tries to flick it into Harry Kane. Kane back to Perisic on the halfway line. That's not a good ball from Perisic. There's been too many of those tonight. Hospital pass for Skip, really. Skip into lunge, and in fact it's the opponent who's come out the worst of it. Palace play on. Zaha into the penalty area, left hand side. Was he pushed by Romero? Referee says no. Zaha went down in a crumpled heap, but there didn't seem to be a huge collision. Romero's now having a little afters with it. Zaha gives him a pat on the back. I think he knows that he wasn't fouled there. And Ayew is still down on the ground. The referee that's good refereeing from Michael Oliver. He's waited for the ball to go dead. He's come back and he's now shown a yellow card to Oliver Skip for that foul on Ayew on the halfway line.
And a little pause in the game, Connor, because the last 10 minutes has been frantic, hasn't it? It's been all Crystal Palace knocking on the door, but not quite able to break this Tottenham defence down. And I suppose the one question I want to ask you, it's quite obvious that Spurs haven't played well so far in this fixture, but is it a positive that they're not behind?
I mean, if that is how bad things are for Tottenham, but you're right.
I mean, in the last 7 games, they've gone
10
behind.
10 in all competitions.
10 in all, 7 Premier League games, they've gone behind. So as we edge towards half-time, they're level on level terms. Is this a positive for Spurs?
The only problem, so I was at Tottenham Stadium on New Year's Day, and around this time of the game, I said the exact same thing you've said there. I thought, well, at least they're not behind. They then very much soon went behind to the start of the second period. So, well, I mean, I think until they take the lead themselves, they'll be worried about this continually conceding the opening goal.
Well, I have given the kiss of death to Che Adams already this evening, so that might be the second one.
Anyone else you want to dig out?
Well, let me just have a little look through my black book here.
0-0, 5 Live at BBC South tonight with Glenbury at Selhurst Park. Tottenham struggling to move through the gears, struggling to put in a performance worthy of the quality of player that they have in their team. And Crystal Palace, who started this evening 11th in the table, if they were to win, they'd go level with Chelsea, who play Manchester City tomorrow. But I think Patrick Vieira will be the more pleased of the two coaches, albeit with that proviso that he'll be thinking I wonder if we're going to regret not scoring with these multiple chances we've had in the first half. Another pass goes astray. I'll be fascinated to see the pass completion rate from Tottenham. So many have gone awry in this first half. Yeah. Romero, that's on the guilty party.
Yeah, it's looking for a Son run, but absolutely nowhere near, and it skips through to Gaeta relatively easily. Just off the mark so far. Spurs just not found their groove, not finding the passes, look laboured most of the time. Very, very unlike the opposition in Crystal Palace, who look good.
Scoreless at Selhurst. Harry Kane passes to Doherty up from right wing back. Again, the cross doesn't have enough elevation. Gehi's clearance is straight to Kane. Kane tries to shoot and blocked by Doucouré. Doucouré got right in his face there and blocks that shot before it had barely left the boot of Harry Kane. So far this season, Crystal Palace have beaten every non-London team that has come here to Selhurst Park, but they have yet to win against a fellow team from the capital here. This is the 5th time the Patrick Vieira's side have hosted a fellow London team, and they've not won any of those home derbies yet. 0-0 for now. Brian Hill's offside. Flag goes up. Stuart Burt, the assistant down below us. Brian Hill offside.
Yeah, it's a very easy decision from the linesman there. Brian Hill should do better. He can see the ball, he can see along the line, but unfortunately he just strays the wrong side of that line.
It's not the biggest stadium in the Premier League, 25,000 or thereabout capacity at Selhurst Park, but there's always a loud atmosphere, always a great atmosphere.
I think
here.
We can see about 3,000 of those people in here, can we, Conor, with our view?
Yes, we've got this spider's web of the rafters of the old stand covering, and it's like looking, I always think it's like looking through an envelope, a letterbox. You know, you can just sort of see the pitch, but you can't see anything above or below it.
No, I mean, if the ball on the opposite side of the pitch for us, if the ball goes any higher than 15 foot, we cannot see it.
We're not missing any of the action here. Delay in play. Christian Romero is down, and Tottenham are deciding whether they're going to bring on the medical staff and whether he needs any assistance. There's going to be 1 minute added on after stoppages in a first half that has flowed. I mean, I know there's been a yellow card shown to Oliver Skip there, but in the main, it's just been competitive and fast this evening at Selhurst Park.
I think for one side, Conor, I don't think Spurs have really been fast or relatively competitive, have they?
Fair, yeah.
I've got a question for you though.
Go on.
While we've got a little lull in the game. Right. Palace are without a win in 12 Premier League home matches played on a Wednesday night. The last time they won a Premier League game at Selhurst at home on a Wednesday was what year and against who? The scoreline was 1-0. I'll let you ponder that one.
You let me ponder that one. Okay, Wednesday nights, right.
I've been told that commentators know all about football from every era.
All right, I'm going to say it was 1993. I'm reading it. I saw it too. 1993.
I could tell with the confidence you applied that.
Yes. No rhyme or reason to it, but Wednesdays don't suit Palace for some reason in the top flight as the Volkers out of play on the far side. We're back underway. Romero's okay, still sort of rubbing his face, nose area, but he's all right to continue. We're into that final minute of in fact we've played more than a minute now, so whistle coming for the break at any moment. We'll get updates from the other 3 games that have been played in the Premier League this evening, but there it is, half-time at Selhurst Park. Brian Hill with the only attempt on target for Tottenham. There were a succession of chances for Crystal Palace, the best of them for Jordan Ayew, who swivelled and shot but couldn't quite tuck it away from Hugo Lloris, gave the goalkeeper a chance to save it. And Palace will hope to build on their momentum to get a goal in the second half. Tottenham in need of a shake-up, and it'll be an interesting half-time team talk for Antonio Conte, who's got his hands plunged deep in his pockets. He's walking down, just brushing that floppy fringe of hair of his as he makes his way towards the tunnel in the corner away to our right-hand side. Crystal Palace 0, Tottenham 0 for now.
Thank you, Conor. Thank you, Glenn. I mean, the general consensus here, Glenn, is that the emphasis in the second half is on Tottenham to be better.
Yeah, pretty much, Fletch. That is what this game has been. It's been a performance from Tottenham Hotspur that we are used to seeing, I think, over recent weeks. Underwhelming, but I suppose the one positive is that they're not behind.
Yep, thank you very much. Have a half-time cup of tea. Second half to come then from Selhurst Park. 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Spurs. Jim says Spurs running the second most distance this season is so misleading. They've been chasing shadows and getting nowhere. Wolves have got somewhere though first half, Pat Murphy.
They've played Villa off the park in this first half. They lead 1-0 through a splendid goal created by Daniel Podence after a neat interplay with Moutinho, who's been outstanding in midfield, dropped a shoulder, got through Louise's tackle, fired left foot. It's a splendid goal. They forced corner after corner earlier. Moutinho and Neves have been superb in midfield. Villa have been awful, and on the break Martinez had to spread himself to block Núñez. Mings sliced over his own bar. It's chalk and cheese from their excellent performance against Tottenham at the weekend. They've got to be better than this in the second half. Now then, Mr. Mr. Emery, what have you got? Because at the moment Wolves are deservedly ahead at Villa Park, 1-0.
Thank you, Pat. Rob says, here we go again. Villa are certainly consistent in their inconsistency. Great win against Spurs, only to then look second best to a team in the bottom three. Doesn't matter who's in charge. It's been that way for years, probably since the days of Martin O'Neill. John Akers, has there been a second half reaction from Southampton?
A little bit. A tiny one. Southampton 0, Forest 1. We've had an hour here at St Mary's and Forest still lead by that goal from Awoniyi in the first half. They've looked really good on the break of Forest. They've just brought Jack Cole back on and Mangala's gone off for Forest. Mara's just had a header wide. It never really would have troubled Dean Henderson for Southampton, but they've had a few set pieces but nothing really to test Henderson yet. The idea of them scoring 2 goals, they haven't scored 2 goals for the last 12 matches, Southampton. So if they're going to win this, they've got to buck a trend. Southampton 0, Forest 1.
Thank you, John. They're back underway at Ellen Road as well. We'll check in with Naz in a few minutes' time. There's commentary on 5 Sports Extra with Vicky and Michael Brown if you'd like to listen to that match. You'll also hear from Kevin Sinfield, the new forwards coach.
So welcome back to Ellen Road, where we are just about to get underway for the second half. Leeds United and West Ham United, both sets of players out on the pitch. Leeds all in white, West Ham in their home kit as well, of claret and blue. 1-1 as we approach the second period. Michael Brown, some more encouragement for David Moyes. West Ham have won 2-1 on their last 2 league trips there, as many as they'd won at Ellen Road in their previous 33 league visits. Incidentally, they went 1-0 down on both occasions. They've gone 1-0 down here this evening. Brilliant goal by Nonto, his first for the club. Paquetá's got them level with a penalty on the stroke of half time, his first goal for West Ham. And as we're underway in this second half, how do you see it going in this second 45?
How can I argue it? No, listen, anything can happen in this game. I was actually at the last one when West Ham won. I was here for 5 Live doing the game. It was sort of a sucker punch for Leeds United. Really, really strong on set pieces. Another foul there in the middle of the pitch, but it could go anyway, could it? I'm interested to see if any little setup slightly changes, any managers change players in different positions. Slow start for Leeds.
Leeds are giving the ball away. Scamacca off the post and in! What a start for West Ham United! And Scamacca gets his 7th goal of the season. Leeds, the masters of their own downfall, and early on in this second half is history to repeat itself once again for West Ham and Ellen Road. They go 1-0 down here. It doesn't matter to them. They come back. They lead 2-1. Can they see it out as they've done on the previous 2 occasions here?
You asked me what they'd do. They started slow, Leeds United. Square passes again, poor passes going backwards. But Scamacca, he had no right to score from there, and he didn't just blast it. 25 yards out central, Cooper right in front of him. Melier unsighted by Cooper in front, but he just bends the ball right around into the far post, and that agonising weight as it hits the post, and it just bounces right across into the far corner. It's a fantastic strike, and again, Ellen Road just dejected with that poor pass from Aronson.
Number 7 to number 7, and it has undone Leeds at the start of this second half. Great finish by Scamacca as Ayling plays the ball into the penalty area for Leeds. It's over the head of Rodrigo and spins out for a West Ham goal kick. Well, we've seen 3 finishes of the highest quality from Nonto, Paquetá, lovely penalty from the spot, and then from Scamacca. But what is Aronson doing there?
Yeah, still a lot to do, but the one before, just as we were talking, as we were coming back to So obviously getting used to asking me the questions, what will they do? They had one short square pass, they got caught out because they said there was a foul. I thought they were slightly fortunate. Then they do it again with that build-up, and until you feel your way in, you've got to be sure you're confident to take the ball from centre back to right back into midfield, and there's a lot to be said going a little bit more direct earlier.
Well, they have a throw on the halfway line, West Ham. West Ham, who had slipped into the relegation zone this evening with Nottingham Forest and Wolves both leading. But they're up to 14th as things stand, a point ahead of Leeds, who've played a game fewer. And Leeds have slipped to 16th. 2-1 Leeds United trail as Strout clears the ball away off Bowen, out for a Leeds throw. No changes for either side at half-time. Meslier in goal for Leeds. Back four of Ayling, Koch, Cooper and Strout. Ahead of them it's Rocker and Adams, with Somerville, Aronson and Nonto, who scored the opener for Leeds, supporting Rodrigo up front as Leeds win another throw, advancing towards the halfway line. West Ham with Fabianski in goal. The back four of Sofal, Dawson, Agerd and Kera. Ahead of them it's Souček, Paquetá and Rice, with Bowen, Fornals and Scamacca, who's put them in front early doors in this second half. Up front, ball goes out of play for a West Ham throw, which Dawson will leave for Sofal. Well, we were talking off air, Michael, at half time, and you said to me West Ham cannot afford to lose this game. 5 defeats in a row in the Premier League. They're ahead here. He knows, we see David Moyes down there, he's just outside his technical area. He knows how huge this match is, but so do Leeds, and they're coming forward now. Rodrigo, right hand side, pulls it across into the penalty area, straight into the feet of Declan Rice, who plays it out to the left hand side, and Fornals forward to Souček over the halfway line, and here goes Scamacca. Cooper gets there first, plays it forward again. Leeds trying to play their way out of trouble, and on the stretch Koch just manages to do that. Somerville under pressure, he's fouled, and Leeds breathe a sigh of relief as that decision goes their way, because Somerville, as he was fouled, had kicked the ball inadvertently straight to who? Scamacca.
Yeah, to be fair to Leeds, they look good under that pressure, moving the ball around, and they've reacted okay, getting to some good positions with tempo.
Ball out to the right hand side. Here goes Ayling up against Kera, goes down. No free kick given by David Coote, and Declan Rice under a bit of pressure, surrounded by 2 white shirts of Aronson, desperate to atone for that error. And Ayling, ball goes out of play, well defended by West Ham, and they have a throw which Kera will take over on the left hand side.
Declan Rice just under that immense pressure, left and right, just as the ball goes out, just puts both arms up and just says relax, just play. He feels confident to do that. You need that type of character. There's a long way to go. You know Leeds United are going to throw everything at it, but it's the counter-attack that worries me.
West Ham starting this second half as brightly as they did the first, and they've got the goal as well that sees them lead 2-1. Bowen, right-hand side of the penalty area, pulls it back to Fornals, forward to Paquetá, tried the little drag back to Bowen, and Bowen picks it up, right-hand side of the area. Fornals will drive, miscue, will come back to him, miscue again, and it's wide of the post. Well, 2 big chances there for Fornals. It's similar to the one that he missed just before they were awarded the penalty at the end of the first half. Not quite got his yellow shooting boots on yet, Fornals.
Yeah, but what about the flick? Paquetá just literally like a Cruyff flick in the air. Wonderful technique, but Fornals, the first one fine, but the second one as it comes back to him, just relax.
West Ham lead by 2-1. Paquetá gets a foot in, and West Ham retain possession in the Leeds half, out to the left hand side, and Kera will be picked up once more now by Agerd, just inside his own half, making his full Premier League debut. Has missed so much of the season with an ankle injury. Could be a big player for West Ham, the defender, in the second period of the season. Sofal, good skill from him, plays it out to the right hand side. Well, I think we can forgive Paquetá that miscontrol, and Leeds have the throw, but having scored that penalty expertly past Meslier for his first West Ham goal. Miscontrol there, West Ham lose possession, Leeds have a throw. 2-1 West Ham lead.
I think Leeds have got to have momentum, but not to go at it too early, because I feel like they'll get picked off. Make sure the build-up's right, make sure they're set, make sure the midfielder's screening or the right full-backs across. But I just don't think they have that in the locker at times. They just go for it.
Here they come down the right hand side. Yes, they only have one gear, Leeds, and they've hit it again. Nonto trying to trick his way into the penalty area. Good defending by Dawson, but then slightly dallied on the clearance. Does get it to Sofal, but under pressure can only play it to Strout just inside the West Ham half. Leeds 1, West Ham 2 here on 5 Sports Extra. Nonto has it on the left-hand side for Leeds. Now Somerville and Aronson urged to shoot, try to play it in, cleared away by Souček. Fornals will complete the clearance towards Skamaka on halfway. Well dispossessed by Tyler Adams, who came across and steered it back to Koch in the centre circle. Out to the right-hand side now, and Ayling. Koch once more. Leeds with the short pass forward by Koch, and again they're slightly fortunate there. It's one of those, as Rocker goes down, it is a foul, Michael Brown, but you picked up on this just before West Ham scored to put themselves 2-1 up as the ball forward is intercepted by Dawson. They're getting the fouls, but it's marginal, and West Ham are almost stealing the ball away, and then they're in again.
They are. It's so close, and they're very unlucky. There's a midfielder going tight. Been there many times, and you feel like you've got it, but it's just gone against you slightly. But that's the one where it's just, obviously it's frantic. Leeds United want to set the tempo, want to get in behind, and
frantic is the word as Leeds come down the right hand side. Here is Rocker, chips the ball into the area looking for Nonto, headed away by Dawson, almost spins out to Ayling now. Acrobatic clearance there by Fornals, and the free kick has gone the way of Leeds United. It's one of these, I'm not sure he makes too much contact with Ayling, but it would still be dangerous play. Let's see what the referee does here, because if it's dangerous play, it's an indirect free kick, which Leeds I think will swing in anyway, given that it's level with the edge. Is there contact there with Ayling? Maybe his bun.
No chance. And I tell you what it was, I said to you about certain players in a squad, Cooper, Ayling, that experience that they have for Leeds United, and many games. He won that free kick. He knew where he was, he got his head close by, fell down, he knew exactly what he was doing. Some people will say, well, that's sort of gaining advantage unnecessarily. Some people will say it's really good play.
So Leeds with this free kick over on the far side. Did David Coote see this dangerous play indirect, or was there contact and it will be direct? He has his arm in the air, it's indirect, so Leeds will have to swing this in. They can't go for goal from here. They do touch it off. Now they can. Looped up, looking for Cooper, and the header is just wide. Well, Leeds are screaming that it got a deflection, but in the end it was screams cut short. I think they thought, nope, it's not going our way. We won't protest that too much, and it's a goal kick to Fabianski. Good leap by Cooper.
Yeah, it was, and I was just looking back and thinking, as they rolled the ball, moved it, Cooper realises he's got to try and get something on it. I felt like Cooper had a bit of shirt as well. So I feel if it went in, I think VAR would have possibly come over and sort of gone, we might not like that one, and take it away. But listen, it's been a good reaction from Leeds United, getting to some good areas. Say about the tempo, forward passes being composed even under the press.
It's flown by. 10 minutes already gone in this second half, in the blink of an eye. West Ham leading by 2-1 as Somerville goes down, wins the free kick for Leeds. David Moyes, he's always on the pitch there. He is absolutely furious. It's all threatening to spill over as Leeds have the ball. Declan Rice and Crescencio Somerville. It's one of those where it all threatened to simmer over, and then Rice just keeps his cool and pats Somerville on the shoulder, and in the end David Moyes is the one that's most angry out of all of that, and we play on.
Somerville actually just rides a tackle, that's what David Moyes is saying, but the fourth official was getting a lot of stick.
Tyler Adams picks it up for Leeds, plays it forward, the shot on the turn bounces just wide of the post from Rodrigo. Fabianski looked as though he had it covered. Leeds 1, West Ham 2.
Yeah, he did. I think it was a good forward pass initially. Rodrigo just turns fast, and actually you're thinking he's going to go across the goalkeeper. He pulls it late, goalkeeper scampering to his left hand post. Fabianski had it covered, but the annoyance of all the supporters behind the goal, he moves it from the right hand side to central as all the players move across. I'm sure that is a slight delay tactic.
So eventually Fabianski does take this goal kick over the halfway line. Koch, who's stepped up, wins the header, helped on by Somerville. Paquetá picks it up for West Ham, and now Declan Rice out to the right hand side, and Bowen, who won the penalty on the stroke of half time. And it's the way that West Ham finished the first half, getting level, the way they started the second half, getting ahead through Skamaka, that leads us to this scoreline in this huge game at the foot of the table as Skamaka goes down, and West Ham win a free kick midway through the Leeds half, right hand side. Paquetá thought about taking that quickly, but in the end decides that he will leave it for Sofan.
Yeah, David Moyes, if one time he goes, next one's Jesse Marsh, getting onto the officials, but it's about the delivery, isn't it, now, from these wide free kicks. How can you put it on point? Leeds United defence staying right on the edge of the 18-yard area, staying high, and it's who can get through that gap as a West Ham perspective to the goal the outswinger. Or does Bowen swing it right the way across?
Those are the two options as Bowen, well, they haven't decided between them. They are now just deciding, or certainly taking a little bit more time. It is laid off by Sofal. Now it will be Bowen. Whips it in left foot, a good delivery. Straight into the arms of Meslier, but it's one of those teasing crosses that strikers so relish. Meslier was there as the Leeds counter is stopped, and Laguerre plays it forwards.
Any ideas who stopped that counter? He ran from the edge of the area right away across. Declan Rice seen it, waited Aylin's quick move. Aronson getting away, but held his ground. Great midfield play.
And that's the answer perhaps to any comments on social media.
I think he's just sent another message there when he's doing that.
Sofal just keeps it in, was caught late there by Somerville, who was just coming back. He'd moved off the pitch, Somerville. It's going to go into the book here for Leeds United, and David Cody's just calling him over. And again, it's all threatening to bubble over on the touchline. It happened right in front of the two coaching staffs. West Ham are all up in arms. David Coote,
he's got to get hold of it, because every West Ham player, all the substitutes, David Moyes, to be fair to him, he stepped back. His staff were all amongst it. Nonto's pushing the player away. Yes, there was a foul in it, but you can't have that. And get some control down here outside the technical areas. Yes, they're very close with each other, but just looking at it now as Peter Banks who tries to assess the situation.
Yeah, the fourth official down there trying to restore some calm. David Moyes has taken the opportunity to give some detailed instructions to Thomas Souček, who is just over checking on the welfare of his Czech teammate Vladimir Sofal, who's still down. He's landed, to be fair, he's landed right by the West Ham medical staff, so he's receiving a little bit of treatment. And Wilfred Nonto's coming over now to have a word with the fourth official. Well, there's no reason really here why they can't play on, unless VAR are checking for a possible red card, because Sofal's off the pitch, he's receiving treatment. We don't have the VAR feed. So Peter Banks, although is he just trying to calm down a situation that still threatens to spill over? But if you were Leeds United, they're preparing to make a change and bring Click on. Yeah, would you not say, well, let's...
I think as well, two of them. So.
But from a Leeds perspective, surely they would say, well, let's get going. It's you know, it's unfortunate that Sofal's down, but West Ham temporarily down to 10 with him receiving treatment. Cresswell's preparing to come on if Sofal can't continue. And I think that the Leeds bench are now saying, well, come on, let's get on with it. And they've delayed so long here, and West Ham will be pleased with this, that it looks as though Cresswell is ready. But now Sofal's up and saying, actually, I can play on. So David Moyes is saying, no, we do now play on. And it's West Ham who almost take advantage. Leeds switching off, ball into the penalty area. Fornals swing and a miss, and it bounces through to Meslier. Now Sofal's ready to come back on. You talk about the officials needing to get some control. Sofal is now back on. He's limping. Cresswell's been set to sit down. Leeds give the ball away again. Goodness me. What word did you use, Michael Brown, as Leeds win a free kick? Frantic. I think that sums it up. 16 minutes gone. Leeds won West Ham 2.
I knew this game would be like this. It's going to open up even more. We're going to see some great attacks. But he's struggling, isn't he? You can see that injury. He's just unsure to commit forward.
And Somerville has managed to get the better of Sofal. Nonto almost dispossesses him. Leeds say the ball's gone out. Bowen wins it, and then he's fouled. Oh, listen to Ellen Road now. They feel that every single decision's going against them. I have to say, looks as though that was correct.
Well, I don't know.
Michael's gonna go the other way. So we're balanced for you.
I've been very, very balanced so far, but I've been on that pitch. I know these supporters. I know what they're demanding, and they're trying to do everything possible to help their side. And Leeds United are looking to make these changes. They've got to try something high energy, some more senior players and some more experience. We're going to need that towards the end of this game.
Yeah, here comes that double change. Somerville and Aronson are off. Harrison and Click are on. So the experience of Click on for Aronson, who gave the ball away terribly for Leeds in truth for West Ham's goal at the start of the second half, which gives them the 2-1 lead, and Somerville being replaced by Harrison. That's the reverse of the change that was made for this game. Both of them just returning to full fitness at the moment after injuries, but didn't quite work for Harrison at Newcastle, so they put Somerville on at St James's Park. Hasn't quite worked for Somerville against West Ham. Can Harrison do any better?
I think he's done all right at times, Somerville, but you know, they're just trying to put a coat on him, the medical team. He's walked right down the tunnel, and it's not ideal in the situation that you're in.
Leeds looking stretched to the back. Bowen picks it up on the right hand side. Adams gets across to help out Stroud, but Bowen does brilliantly again, plays the ball into the area. Leeds get first contact. Paqueta drags it wide from the edge of the area. It's another shot dragged wide by West Ham, but again, Michael Brown, Jarrod Bowen, that's the 4th time in this match he's been doubled up on. He's got a yard of space, he's got the ball across. It's brilliant play.
Well, it's fantastic. Under that sort of pressure, finds the space, moves the ball, uses his body, uses that pace, and then not only that, delivers something, puts the ball somewhere in a dangerous area. Great wide play, and you're going to need that, aren't you? We talked about creativity from number 9s, lack of goals in teams towards the bottom of the table. I talked about it earlier on 5 Live about how it's not just the number 9s, we've got to look from the wider areas and the people playing in 10s and 8s, the midfielders making better runs.
Harry Kane has given Tottenham the lead at Crystal Palace into the second half in that 8 o'clock kickoff. Wolves still lead Aston Villa by a 1-0. Daniel Podence's early goal. And Nottingham Forest in the 7:30 kickoff still leading at Southampton. West Ham enjoying a good spell here. 2-1 they lead at Ellen Road on 5 Sports Extra, and they've won a free kick. Sofal's over it midway through the Leeds half, right hand side, and Leeds just wobbling at the moment, Michael, defensively.
Well, they're under that pressure, but as soon as you take that shape out, like I said to you try and commit too quickly. That's the difference, and West Ham in the lead are happy saying, well, okay, come and have a go at us, then they'll come out, and not really been in the lead too often.
So Bowen and Sofal between them having another conversation. This time Bowen will leave it for Sofal, who swings it in. Good delivery, headed down into the ground, cleared away by Leeds on the edge of their 6-yard box. Adams will help it out of the penalty area, and the offside flag eventually goes up as Fornell scoops it back into the box. Leeds 1, West Ham 2.
Yeah, it was a good delivery into the penalty area. I felt like the header's going to come. We've seen that the flag go up for the offside decision, but I think it's Mikel Antonio now for West Ham, getting stripped, ready to come on. He's going to be able to hold the play up. I keep mentioning that word, experience. You know, in a game like this in particular, where it's so important not to lose it, you're just looking at these decisions and you see straight away Leeds United get some experience on. David Moyes, trusted, tried and tested striker, going for Mikel Antonio to give him something at the top of the pitch.
Leeds in possession down the right hand side. They trail West Ham by 2-1 here on 5 Sports Extra. Wilfred Gnonto trying to race through the centre. Vladimir Sofal cut off the angle well, and it bounces through to Fabianski.
That was a good run, wasn't it? Gnonto off the line, the ball gets right the way across, but good covering from West Ham.
Fabianski over the halfway line, chested down by Bowen. Half had a shout of handball from Ellen Road as Skamaka closes down Millier. But up towards the halfway line they go. Powerful header won by Agard, forward for West Ham, but Koch, who's impressed again this evening, does well for Leeds to steer it over the halfway line to Adams, and now Gnonto left hand side down the line. Tyler Adams will pick it up once more. The white shirts arriving in the penalty area. Little layoff by Click, and now Harrison. Gnonto to Adams. Harrison's made the run. Adams goes back to Gnonto, edge of the penalty area, left hand side, tries the 1-2 with Harrison. Gnonto gets the delivery across, will spin all the way across that 6-yard box and out of the box to Ayling on the right hand side, and Ayling's cross is poor. It's behind for a West Ham goal kick as the rain starts to team down at Ellen Road. Leeds 1, West Ham 2.
Yeah, good combination play. They were patient. I'm wondering why they didn't get the ball in a little bit quicker, but the overload was good. Adams into Harrison, and then Gnonto gets the ball. I'm thinking there's no space left. Wonderful ball right with the cross. Goalkeeper Fabianski thinking, where's it going? Out to the back post. Luke Ayling then disappointing with his delivery as the ball goes behind the goal. And these changes we talked about, and West Ham are just sort of reorganising the situation with a couple of knocks.
Yeah, Michael Antonio is on for Gianluca Scamacca, whose goal has given West Ham this precious 2-1 advantage at Ellen Road. Aaron Cresswell is preparing to come on, and this is the change that almost got made 10 minutes ago, but Vladimir Sofal, who has been moving fine. I mean, clearly he's taken a knock, but now he's walking very, very slowly over to the halfway line. All the tricks are coming out. He's applauding the away contingent down there to our right. He is injured, but he's not moved that slowly at all in the last 10 minutes, has he?
No, he's not, and you can see and understand why they made that sort of decision. He's got caught, and just as he gets a little high five off his manager, how does it affect it? Just thought, okay, you come across right back, Cresswell go across into that left back situation. Declan Rice won't want to go too far now into this situation when you're just waiting to see what Leeds United throw at you.
Midway through the second half, David Moyes stands on the edge of his technical area, hands in his pockets, because this would be a huge win for a hugely under pressure manager. Here goes Michael Antonio, great sliding challenge over on that far side, and Leeds United will pick up possession. Over the halfway line they go. Here's Rodrigo, lays it off to Harrison. Harrison driving at a wall of claret and blue, picked up by Click as he's challenged. Nonto, flag stays down. Rodrigo, complete miscue, and the flag goes up anyway to spare Rodrigo's blushes as he dragged that ball right across the 6-yard box.
Yeah, the ball just run into an offside position. Rodrigo tries to get his shot away. You see the experience, that West Ham centre-back Dawson. He allows him to run into it, doesn't he? He waits, looks across the line, steps up, says thank you very much, I don't need to run in there, I'll take that offside all day long. You can do that differently now, can't you? Do you know, with the VAR decision, you know, later on in games you feel like, okay, I'll take that risk because I know I've got some support in case that assistant referee does miss it.
It's all coming together for Tottenham at Selhurst Park. 2-0 now. They lead Crystal Palace at an 8 o'clock kickoff. Harry Kane with both goals as the ball goes out of play on the far side. Much needed win that would be for Tottenham, and Antonio Conte at the other end of the table. Leeds throw, they have it on the halfway line.
Conte must definitely want to stay after the remarks earlier saying he's desperate to.
Here go Leeds, edge of the area, 2-2! Rodrigo! They're back in the game at Ellen Road! Nicely worked to him by Harrison, and suddenly there's another twist near the foot of the table because it's Leeds 2, West Ham 2, calmly struck by Rodrigo.
We've seen some finishing in this game, the build-up, that energy, getting into some good position. Harrison does well, and Rodrigo just steps across outside the area, left footer. I'm thinking it's a tight position, but as he takes his touch, that makes it for him, just wraps his foot around it. Fabianski down to that right-hand post, but the finish is too good.
Here come West Ham straight down the other end. Fornals won't keep it in, and it's a goal kick to Leeds United. And listen to the change in the noise at Ellen Road. We have seen some crackers involving Leeds this season. A lot of them have been here. 2-2, 10 goals now, Rodrigo, for the season. It's already his best goal scoring season for Leeds. But we've mentioned the fact that, you know, Bamford being out, Michael, yes, they might try and sign someone in January, but having Rodrigo in form, and particularly when he plays through the middle, because his position is always up for debate, but if they can get him through the middle and scoring like he is, well, maybe they'll be all right.
But once he come inside like that and had that first touch, I think that's what makes it. And the position in the centre of the pitch, Harrison I thought was really good in that 10, but he turns well under pressure or realises what space is in behind him.
Here come West Ham though, Fornals down to the byline, pulls the ball across, Tyler Adams reads it well, great positioning, clears it out. 2-2, great game here on 5 Sports Extra between Leeds and West Ham as the ball is driven towards the penalty area, cleared away by Leeds, and Click will find Adams, and now Rodrigo saw Nonto a little bit too much on it, and it just goes straight out to David Moyes, and Nonto runs right past him, and Moyes now is screaming instructions down on the edge of his technical area,
because he knows generally with his team getting behind the ball how he can close it out and see what's coming their way, and that was where they were so good, weren't they, soaking up the pressure, West Ham, and the big space there.
Harrison gets a foot in just ahead of Souček, who started to push forward once more as Leeds play it into their own penalty area. It is absolutely pelting down at Ellen Road, and conditions are becoming treacherous and tricky as Nonto goes down. No free kick given, picked up by Paqueta for West Ham. Right hand side of the penalty area, plays it into the box. Souček is there, down to the byline. Paqueta picks it up, plays it back in. Oh, the header was just flicked in by Kehrer, and Rice on the volley sends it into the stands. 2-2.
Yeah, good pressure down the right hand side. Just didn't really drop, did it, as the ball ricochets out. There's Declan Rice, he can see the goal. He goes to strike it right footed, edge of the area. I think he tries to hit it too hard, slices it right into the Ellen Road faithful with the delight on their faces. But good pressure from West Ham.
And it's something we talked about off air at half time. Both sides have played with a real freedom. I mean, we've seen some great finishers, we've seen some good play from both, we've seen some errors from both, but it's not been cagey. You haven't sensed the pressure that both of these sides are under. I mean, still, now they're level, they're still separated by just 2 points in the table, struggling near the foot of the Premier League, but both of them have played with the handbrake off.
Do you think both teams will actually be not too disappointed with this type of result?
Depends if they go a point each, I suppose. It would stop the losing run for West Ham as Paqueta stops that Leeds attack and is then fouled. To be fair, the noise inside Ellen Road now, I'm not sure Harrison heard that whistle straight away, but he does now. Free kick to West Ham. Well, it stops the losing run for West Ham, doesn't it? For Leeds, well, it's back-to-back games without defeat after a very creditable draw at St James's Park at the weekend. But I don't sense that either side are settling for a point right now.
There's going to be more opportunities. I said it's going to be a good ending to the game. I hope I'm not speaking too soon. We want to see more chances. We'd love it to be end to end, but I just keep going back to that point, is you don't want to lose this game. That's the point we're trying to get to.
Ellen Road making its opinion of the refereeing performance clear. And David Coote and his officials will say, well, we feel we've got most things spot on, as Rodrigo picks it up for Leeds. Rodrigo, who's levelled things up at 2-2. Out to Click it goes on the halfway line. Turns and sends it back to Roca. And now Leeds just start to slow the play down, and I think that's the first time I've said that in this second half in this match. 29 minutes gone, but that's the question, isn't it, Michael, as Nonto comes forward? I'm not sure he does have another gear other than full throttle. Leeds are revving up to full throttle once again as Strout takes the throw quickly. Harrison forward to Nonto, offside. Clearly so, flag up quickly, and it's a West Ham free kick. But that's the question, isn't it? As we say, it's been full pelt from both sides, but we're into the final 15 minutes now almost, plus added time. Might we see some of that pell-mell, hell for leather just start to ebb out of this game as both sides start thinking, like you say, we can't afford to lose this? I
thought that, but then they just had the throw in there. They actually run into the ball, Leeds United, actually trying to play quickly, trying to turn. Harrison trying to spin somebody, get into a better position. So it's West Ham have actually slowed it slightly, trying to get some structure, trying to have a little look at it. We've seen an elbow there. I wonder, this is an interesting one because he's gone right down, referee right on top of it. And they're just trying to see the replay back as he just holds out, and there's that swing, but it's, when you see it, Robin Koch coming across, it's actually with his hand, the actual swing of the right arm. And at that point, I think you're fine, you understand it, that it's going to be just a free kick, and it was a foul. Luckily it wasn't the elbow.
Yeah, just trying to use his arm for leverage, but did make contact, and it's a free kick to West Ham. Third of the way inside the Leeds half, central position. Cresswell is over it. 2-2 here on 5 Sports Extra. Brilliant game at Ellen Road as David Coote stops play. West Ham have a player down on the edge of the penalty area. It was Dawson, so David Coote just making sure that everybody is reset and ready to go. Nottingham Forest are closing in on what would be a huge win at Southampton into the closing stages there. 7:30 kickoff. They still lead by a goal to nil. Wolves are still 1-0 up at Aston Villa. That was an 8 o'clock kickoff, and over on 5 Live you can listen to commentary of Tottenham leading Crystal Palace by 2 goals to nil as Cresswell plays the ball into the area. It comes through to Souček off a Leeds head, and Souček can't control it, and it's through to Meslier. Why would you go anywhere? This is a brilliant game here on 5 Sports Extra at Ellen Road with Michael Brown as Leeds play it forward. Click miscontrols, and Dawson will tidy up at the back for West Ham. 2-2 as Click closes down. I don't think anybody Michael Brown is going to give us an affirmative to that question and slow the tempo of this down. Although you do wonder whether West Ham, as the away side, they might be slightly the more likely to. Leeds certainly not. Rodrigo, flag stays down, had a little look. Rodrigo, brilliant save. Fabianski tips it over the bar. It's behind for a Leeds corner. So close for Leeds United. Excellent goalkeeping from Lucas Fabianski.
Yeah, Harrison's made the difference. It's a great arced run in behind West Ham. Harrison finds it onto his left foot as Rodrigo presses. He has a look to see if anyone's there to help him. It's always rising. Good save, but he hits it straight at Fabianski, and I feel like the corners were the better option as we see another change. They're going for it, Leeds United.
Yep, Sam Greenwood is on for Mark Rocker. Greenwood, who scored his first Leeds goal earlier this season in their comeback victory against Bournemouth. They've led 1-0 in this match. They were 2-1 down. They pulled it back to 2-2 Leeds. They have a corner from the far side. Swung in towards Cooper. Cleared away by those in claret and blue. Bowen will help it on. Adams sends it back out to the right hand side. Really intelligent ball to Harrison. Right wing into the penalty area. Curls it in. Headed away by Souček on the edge of the 6-yard box. Click sends it back in. And even the Leeds fans say way with that because it loops right up. But Antonio's under pressure inside his own area. Click, too strong. Pulls it back. Taken off the toes of Harrison by Rice. Brilliant tackle by the England man. Bowen goes down. No free kick given. Strauch into the area. Nonto turning away from Cresswell. Leeds pushing 2-2 on 5 Sports Extra. Nonto down to the byline right hand side, pulls the ball across, and Aga gets there and sends it out for the corner, and Ellen Road roars.
Brilliant few moments. Fantastic play from Leeds United. They got West Ham right on the back foot. They're trying everything. They can't clear the line. They're under pressure. Harrison everywhere. Nonto getting across. The ball just seen off. Cresswell almost gave a penalty away. Set piece again to Leeds.
11 minutes to play. Leeds with the ball into the area. Souček clears away. Greenwood is muscled out of it on the edge of the D, and it might bright kindly here for West Ham. Looking to counter over the halfway line. Here goes Fornals. Plays it forward to Antonio. Takes it in his stride. He's pursued by Adams. Antonio down to the byline. Brilliantly done. Challenged by Adams. Off Antonio. Leeds goal kick.
What a battle. Talk about midfield runs, intensity, getting into key areas, seeing danger. Mikel Antonio, I didn't feel like you were going to stop him once he got going, and Adams gets across and sees it out, ricochets off him as West Ham make the changes, and it's just so open. Everybody's just getting forward, back the areas. The managers now we're trying to get some sort of balance in the side, especially West Ham.
Well, thankfully for my voice, West Ham are making a double change. Said Benrahma has come on for Paquetá, and Pablo Fornals has been replaced by Flynn Downs. So double change for West Ham. 2-2 at Ellen Road into the final 10 minutes as Sam Greenwood wins the header inside the centre circle. Downs gets his own head on it for West Ham. Kehrer gets the touch. Appeal for handball not given by David Coote. Sliding challenge on Bowen, and Jesse Marsh is saying, oh, that should be our throw. And it's gone the other way. Jesse, I thought he was going home with the ball there. He's got the ball in his hand. He's calmed himself down with great difficulty. He's put it down at the feet of Kehrer. It literally almost was one of those moments of, right, my ball, I'm going home. He's disgusted with that decision, Jesse Marsh.
It's all getting heated, and as I said to you, both sets of staff, there's going to be a clash if this continues. David Moyes is now after Jesse Marsh. There's it started, I can see.
Well, they are two managers that are very passionate, and Jesse Marsh, we've seen this season occasionally it can boil over for him on the touchline. They just need to keep their cools here. Primarily because, yes, we want to see good examples, but also for the momentum of the game. The last thing that either of these sides need, if they want to try and win this 2-2 into the last 9 minutes, is for a long stoppage, as we're having now a yellow card for Jesse Marsh. They don't need this on the sidelines. Leeds don't need this particularly because they're in the ascendancy.
But he's setting the tone and the tempo. He's trying to put pressure on. He's trying to create some atmosphere. I see exactly what he's doing, but he's just got to have it with control when he's doing that. You see the pressure's on the referee now. He wasn't sure whether to give it West Ham or Leeds United, but it's certainly Leeds who are going for this. Full credit to them. They're giving everything to try and get this winner.
And it's West Ham who are just starting to slow the play down. 8 minutes to play. Kera takes his time over the throw, headed forward by Leeds. Again, he's underneath it with a white boot, clears it up towards halfway. Harrison will try and bring it down. Downs gets there ahead of him, then commits the foul right in front of David Moyes. And it's a free kick to Leeds United. Cooper going down just inside the West Ham half.
Yeah, David Moyes couldn't actually be any closer, could he? Literally on his foot. Downs is getting involved, pushing people away. Adams, the referee's lost a little bit of control here now. He's now taking it back to the byline where it should be. But what they're saying is that every throw that West Ham have had have moved considerable amounts forward.
Nottingham Forest have won at Southampton. They are up to 15. Southampton bottom. Tottenham 3-0 up now in the 8 o'clock kickoff against Crystal Palace. Matt Doherty has got their third as Leeds almost concede possession from that set piece. Harrison almost dispossessed, and then Greenwood accidentally late in on Bowen. Good spot that by David Coote. It was a foul there on Jarrod Bowen. Free kick West Ham, they've taken it quickly. Michael Brown.
Do you know what he did there? He realised there was a small foul and he was getting heated. He just killed it dead straight away, the referee.
Brilliant play for West Ham down the left-hand side. Here goes Ben Rama down to the byline. Ball delivered into the box. Cleared away by Leeds, and the shot is blazed wide again from Declan Rice from distance, and he slaps both palms on the ground in frustration. But I'll tell you what, Michael Brown, lack of effort? No way.
Lack of quality with his right foot there, Declan Rice. I think if he gets that tweeted to him, he might agree, because he's better than that in that situation. It's a good opportunity.
Jack Harrison picks it up for Leeds United. Breathless second half this. It's been a brilliant game. It's been nail-biting stuff if you're a Leeds or a West Ham listener, I am sure. 2-2 into the final 6 minutes. Leeds it is in the ascendancy, but West Ham look dangerous when they get the ball on the counter. They won't rule out stealing a late winner as Nonto plays it in field to Strout. Leeds with the majority of the pressure though at the moment as Harrison pulls the ball across. Interception by Dawson. Leeds corner.
Brilliant again. Jack Harrison's made all the difference. Some brilliant sort of individual skill, driving forward, good passes, and they've got an overload here if they do things quick, Leeds United, but they want to put it on top of the goalkeeper. I think they were 3v1 on the edge, should have done it.
So Sam Greenwood will swing this in. He's tapping the top of both of his shoulders. What does that mean? Sam Greenwood plays it in, looking for the run at the far post, and it's cleared off the line and then blazed over on the follow-up by Liam Cooper. What a chance! High five to Michail Antonio, who blocked the initial effort, but that should have been stuck away on the follow-up. Huge opportunity goes begging for Leeds United.
You asked what he was doing, he was playing it right round the back. There's Cooper, heads it, guides it down, it bounces. They've got someone on the back post, Michail Antonio clears it. It falls then to Cooper, but he lashes at it. It's a big, big chance as he puts it over the bar. That could have been the winner.
4-0. Tottenham now lead at Crystal Palace. 8 o'clock kickoff. Son Heung-min has scored Tottenham's fourth. Very much needed victory coming the way of Antonio Conte and Spurs. Are either side going to get a very much needed victory at the other end of the table here into the final 4 minutes? 2-2 between Leeds and West Ham as Harrison picks it up for Leeds just inside the centre circle, over the halfway line. Now he goes and out to the right hand side, and Click, who has Ayling on the overlap, and Ayling will play the ball towards the penalty area. It's blocked behind. It's another corner off Cresswell.
Yeah, Click, Ayling, Harrison all combining. It's that late run from Ayling, tries to get that deep cross in. Cresswell sees it out for a corner, but wonderful play by those three. And again, another set piece. Robin Koch right on top of the goalkeeper, as is Ayling, inside that sort of zonal marking from West Ham, and a few attacking it at the back post.
Harrison to take this corner for Leeds from the far side. Cooper's on the move once again. It came to Ayling. It will come to Stroud, who chips it over from the penalty spot. Difficult chance. He was on the turn. It's over the bar. It's a West Ham goal kick. It's Leeds 2, West Ham 2.
Yeah, they tried to get it all around the front post. Tried to cause that bit of momentum to get through, but as it comes to strike, he just tries to hook it with his right, but it's always behind him. He slashes at it, and you'd hope he does a little bit better.
So Fabianski preparing to take this goal kick. Fabianski, who we should say, that effort that Cooper blazed over on the follow-up, he made himself so big, Fabianski, did everything he could as West Ham come down the left-hand side with Ben Rama, well blocked away by Tyler Adams, and now Click under real pressure. West Ham have won it back with Ben Rama. Good play from the substitute. Now Flynn Downs out to the left-hand side and Cresswell. It's Declan Rice. Central position, urged to shoot by the Leeds fans who've seen him blaze a few high and wide. And then the ball out to the right-hand side. Kehrer charged down by Nonto, and he's left Kehrer in his wake. He plays it forward, Nonto. It's cleared away by Aguerd. Right ball from Nonto. Couldn't quite find Rodrigo. Good defending by Aguerd. Otherwise, Rodrigo was in.
Kehrer very, very disappointed. I don't think Declan Rice wanted to actually give him the ball. He got it, got pressed, and at that point thinking just hold, wait, gets nutmegged, falls to the floor. Lucky the pass doesn't go to a Leeds shirt. Imagine what David Moyes would have said.
Ball straight out of play from West Ham. Leeds back in possession into the final 2 minutes plus added time. Leeds 2, West Ham 2. Nonto picks it up left hand side. He got Leeds underway in the first half. Harrison to Strauk, plays the ball in towards Rodrigo. It's cleared away by Dawson. Kehrer helps it on the edge of the area, but the Clarendon blue shirts are so deep now, and Greenwood will pick it up right hand side, sends it out. It's over the head of Ayling, and the anti-climax, you can almost feel it around Ellen Road. And now West Ham have a player down. It's Aguerd. He is just being helped out with his cramp by Craig Dawson. I mean, to be fair, he's been out for most of the season. He's just back from illness and injury. It's his first Premier League start. Or Michael Brown, am I being far too kind?
Well, he has, and that's why he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. But generally it would be somebody with experience to try and delay it, but he has been out for long periods. But it's been all Leeds United. They've come real sort of passion, tempo, throwing everything at it, forward runs, and that's what you want to see. And I think those Leeds United supporters can't fault their team in this last period of the game. I mean, West Ham are holding on, but they have got quality as well. West Ham, any little moment, you never know.
Meslier under pressure from Ben Rama, clears it up towards halfway. Yes, every time it goes out left to Ben Rama, they look dangerous, West Ham. He's been effective since coming on, but it's 2-2 here at Ellen Road into the final minutes of normal time. Gelhart's preparing to come on for Leeds, but they are delaying making this substitution for now because the ball is in play. Dawson plays it forward, good header away by Strauk. Adams will play it to Harrison, and now Strauk once more. Nice combinations by Leeds, but West Ham held them up well and forced the miscontrol on the halfway line from Pascal Strauk. And David Moyes is right there with Kehrer. It does tell him to send it forward, well anticipated by Cooper. Adams gets a foot on it, brilliant control by Harrison to bring that down out of the air, and then Antonio just catches Harrison, and Jesse Marsh is saying, hang on Jack, we'll just make this substitution now. Joe Gelhart preparing to come on. Well, they can't make the substitution yet because the fourth official's put up 5 minutes of added time, so needs to change the red number to the red and green, and Leeds will be able to make this change before they take this set piece just inside their own half.
Just looking there, West Ham and had that opportunity to throw the ball down the line for Mikel Antonio. It's a perfect position for him. They don't make that choice, and at that point the pressure comes again. Throw the short one into Mikel Antonio, then he makes the foul because he's under pressure. Now the momentum's against them. That's the difference when you're sitting in and waiting.
So Gelhart's on, Nonto's off, having scored his first goal for Leeds. A long time ago that seems now. Put them 1-0 up. Paquetá with his first for the club, and Skamaka gave West Ham the 2-1 advantage. Leeds levelled things up in the second half through Rodrigo. 4 quality finishes, and Leeds have won a free kick midway inside the West Ham half, just about level with the right hand side of the penalty area. The height is up from the back. They are pushing for this winner, Leeds. They don't do shutting up shop, do they?
Well, not one bit, but that's the thing, is when the team are below you like this, you don't want to lose the game, and you've got to respect that though. You know that they're really going for it, really trying to get those 3 points.
So Sam Greenwood over this set piece, swings it into the penalty area. Cook was up there. Fabianski gets a punch on it. Out to Ayling, who can't control it inside the penalty area, but does pick it back up to Harrison. Loose touch. Bowen loose touch in turn. It's out for a Leeds throw, and David Moyes is trying to organise, but Leeds are coming forward, and David Coote. Now, what's he said here? Now, VAR must be looking at something here. He's pointing to his ear. Leeds wanted to take the throw quickly. Luke Ayling's come over. So VAR have clearly said to David Coote, don't restart there. Now we restart. Well, presume they were checking for a possible penalty. The ball was in the West Ham box, but we play on, and the momentum, unfortunately for Leeds, has gone out of this as Greenwood's overhits that pass and it's straight out of play for a goal kick. But it's one of those, if they look at it, if they were checking for a penalty, of course Leeds would have been delighted if they got it, but in hindsight, bet they just would have liked to have played on.
It's just so disappointing, isn't it, that actually the check, nobody's seen anything in the ground, and we want to see this game flowing. I think that's what's been so exciting about the second half. It's been end to end. Yes, Leeds United have committed more, put West Ham under more pressure.
Late equaliser in one of the 8 o'clock kickoffs at Villa Park. Danny Ings has levelled it up against Wolves. That's good news for both West Ham and Leeds, with Wolves below them in the table, as Leeds coming down the right hand side of Gelhardt, and Aged wins the challenge, and the decision is it gets a touch off Gelhardt, so it's a West Ham throw deep in their own territory. 2 minutes of added time to play. Leeds 2, West Ham 2, Michael Brown.
I just want another chance. That's what I want from this game. I know I'm being greedy. 2-2. We've had lots of opportunities, lots of drama, some quality finishes, and second half's just been really, really good. I've not enjoyed a game as much as this for a long time. Yes, it's different for those supporters, but sitting here watching, just wondering we're going to get a late twist.
Well, we've had a few in this match, as the ball is straight out of play from Aged, and Ayling takes the throw for Leeds. They are the ones with the bulk of possession at the moment. They're the ones who are pushing forward, but West Ham will hope to get a chance and hit them on the counter as the ball is forward. Dawson clears it long, looking for Antonio, who scored a 90th minute winner last time these sides met here, and good vision by Rice. Out to the left hand side, and Ben Rama, and suddenly it's Leeds on the back foot. Ben Rama plays the ball across, and Antonio sliding misses, and it's behind for a Leeds goal kick. Oh, that was inches away from Antonio. He flung his right leg at that ball across the 6-yard box, but just couldn't make contact.
Yeah, Ayling was really high. You just see down the space that they have. Left hand side, balls comes across. Not sure if it's a shot or a cross from Ben Rama, but Antonio right at the back post. Oh my, he's so close. And that was what I was talking about, the option of that counter-attack.
So here come Leeds, and Gelhardt does what Gelhardt does so well. Draws the foul, free kick, good position. And that's, I mean that in a positive way, because sometimes you can say, oh, draws the foul, and it almost feels like an implicit criticism, but he is so good in those areas. He's won key penalties for Leeds after coming off the bench late on. He's won a free kick here. It's far out, it's 30 yards or so. You would think they'll play it to the edge of the area.
Yeah, well, we see a clever set piece. Luke Ayling, is he key? Come right out in front of us, right round the back post. Will they move the ball? It's a long way to shoot. Imagine that little sort of dink towards the back area, or they're going to go Cooper, the near one.
Last chance saloon this for Leeds United. Harrison dinks it in, headed on Rodrigo. Brilliant save, Fabianski, from Rodrigo's header. A point-saving save. Surely it is a corner to Leeds. They're going to have time to take it. He might be called into action again. There's applause from Ellen Road. I think some of it might be for Fabianski, to be honest. That was outstanding.
Incredible save, right under this pressure, but here we go again as it comes back in.
Corner to Leeds United. This is last chance saloon. Swung in. Cock tried to get something on it. West Ham clear it away. Helped on by Ben Rama. And that is that. A huge game near the foot of the Premier League table. Ends all square. It ends West Ham's 5-match losing run in the Premier League. It's back-to-back points for Leeds United after their draw at Newcastle, but it ends that way, Michael Brown, because of the brilliance of Lucas Fabianski in the final seconds.
Incredible save, point blank. You're thinking that's it, the winner, but it was that free kick. I thought it was going to be Cooper. I said they might just play it near one, and they did. It was like away from goal, and they just hung it up. Cooper directs the header central, and then right in front of the goalkeeper, the header comes in, and you're just thinking it's a goal. Fabianski dives, top left-hand corner. What a save in the late stages. It's just a remarkable second half. Really enjoyed it, and you've got to say Leeds certainly deserved more than they got today.
Brilliant game. Finishes 2-2. Just finally from you, Michael. In the cold light of day, who will be more pleased with this point?
I think David Moyes on the road, after seeing those late opportunities, I think you look for a Jesse Marsh point of view, you say, listen, we played really well, we bossed the second half, we created so many things, we kept going while under pressure of the mistake at the start of the second half. I've got character in my team, I've got willing runners, I've got quality off the bench, and they should have went on won the game. And I think they've got to look and say, right, we've kept a really good team away from us for a little bit longer. Have we got to improve on many performances? Yes, we've seen at Newcastle that they've gone and they were quite sort of reserved, quite lack of structure, lack of sort of front and forward play, but you can't fault them for that today. I thought they were excellent going forward.
Cracker of a game, and this is how it leaves things in the Premier League table. Leeds 14th, still 2 points above West Ham, who are 17th. It's 1-1, a reminder between Aston Villa and Wolves. They're into the closing stages there. Nottingham Forest are out of the relegation zone after a huge 1-0 victory at Southampton. And you can join 5 Live now for the final stages of Crystal Palace. They are trailing Tottenham by 4-0. But thanks very much for your company here on 5 Sports Extra. It finishes at Ellen Road. Leeds United 2, West Ham United 2.